It isn't Gabriel Heater, kiddies.
The Fred Allen Show, with Fred's guests Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Portland Hopper, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, the Tenderleaf Workshop Players, the DeMarco Sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And if anybody cares who I am, my name is Kenny Delmar. Ladies and gentlemen, since the war ended, we've all been waiting for the return of the things we've missed. Mm-hmm. Tonight we bring you one of the things nobody's missed, and here he is, Fred Allen.
Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Kenny, I've been away from radio quite a long time. I guess everything's changed?
No, Fred. Things in radio are about the same.
Oh, really? About the same? Have they found out who the mystery chef is yet?
No.
They haven't? How about One Man's Family? Have there been any additions to one?
No, Fred.
What about Portia? Has she turned around?
No. Portia is still facing life.
In a rut, huh? Say, tell me, Kenny, is that old gentleman still on the air every week? You know, the old fellow with the...
Oh, you mean just plain Bill?
No, Bill wasn't his name.
Pa Perkins?
No, not Pa Perkins.
Singing Sam?
No, not Singing Sam. You're warm, though. This old guy had a valet named Manchester, a portrait. I've been away so long.
Oh, you mean Jack Benny.
Jack Benny, the octogenarian. And how he can play it. He's the guy. Is he still on the air?
Oh, yes. Jack's still broadcasting for Lucky Strikes.
Really? It's remarkable what those one-a-day vitamins can do. A guy his age, after all.
Is Jack old?
Is he old? A friend of mine saw Mr. Benny in swimming this summer. He thought that Benny was wearing a blue corduroy suit.
And it wasn't a blue corduroy suit.
No. Benny is so old now, his veins are outside of his skin. His face has more wrinkles than a seersucker suit on the closing day of a revival. Almost didn't get that out. Well, if he really...
Mr. Allen!
Gosh, Portland, how did you... I heard you singing as the program opened. Awfully good. How did you sense I was back on the air again?
Mama heard a rumor. You know how fast bad news travels.
Oh, yes. General Patton told me. What's new, Portland?
I thought you might need some new jokes for your program.
Well, don't tell me that you have contrived some specimens of waggery.
Did you hear about the soldier who ate 5 dozen oysters and got discharged from the Army?
Ate 5 dozen oysters and got discharged from the Army?
Yes. He had 60 blue points.
Oh, fine. It wouldn't work with clams, would it? You know, that joke sounds like something off the bottom of Can You Top This?
Since the atomic bombs fell on Japan, the emperor doesn't wear a crown.
No, what does the emperor wear?
An Adam's hat.
An Adam's hat. You should put dry ice on that joke instantly, Portland. It won't keep a minute. And speaking of minutes, any minute we'll be leaving now for Allen's Alley.
Oh, what is your question tonight?
Well, one of the greatest problems facing the country today, of course, is housing. Here in New York City, thousands of people are looking for places to live. And so our question is, how is the housing shortage affecting you?
Shall we go?
As one B-29 said to the other, let's take off. Ah, Portland, it sure is good to be back down here in Allen's Alley.
I wonder if the same people still live here.
Well, there's only one way to find out. I'll knock at this first door again.
Somebody knocked. Who was it?
Pardon me, mister.
Senator Claghorn's the name. Claghorn, that is.
Senator Claghorn?
I'm from the South, the deep South.
From way down south, huh?
Yeah, I'm so far down south that my family's treading water in the Gulf Stream.
Hey, that is south, isn't it?
Yeah, where I live, we call the people from Alabama Yankees.
Well, I don't know.
Don't butt in when the body's talking, son. Try listening. Try listening. You're bound to learn something.
Well, look, Senator.
Anything gets me down, it's two people trying to talk at the same time.
Well, I know, but...
I got the floor, son. Don't try no filibuster.
Now, look, Senator, what about the housing shortage down there in Washington?
I stop at a hotel.
Oh, you actually have a room?
What room?
You mean,
For $20 a day, they give me a chair in the lobby and a sleeping pill. Pill, that is.
What is the housing problem coming to, Senator?
There's only one solution.
And that is?
Close up the OPA.
Well, what will happen if we close the OPA?
There'll be millions of ceilings left over.
Yes?
You put 4 walls under them ceilings, you got houses. So long, son. So long, that is.
You know, I think the senator's got something there. I wonder what a knock at this next door will bring.
Howdy, Bob.
Oh. You're,
Titus Moody's my name.
Titus Moody?
Moody by name, Moody by nature.
Well, tell me, Mr. Moody, has the housing shortage bothered you any?
Yeah, that's why I had to leave the farm, Bob.
Really?
Yeah. The land was so poor, you'd have to use 20 sacks of fertilizer to raise a tune on it.
Gosh.
Cows were so weak, they used to travel in pairs.
The cows had to travel in pairs?
Yeah. Took 2 cows to pull up a blade of grass.
The land was dry, was it?
Dry? I didn't see no water for 20 years.
20 years?
One day it rained.
Yes?
When the first drop of water hit me, I fainted.
Yes?
Yeah, they had to throw 2 buckets of dust in my face to bring me to.
Gosh, how did you cope with the housing problem, Titus?
Why, I ordered one of them 2-room houses from Sears Roebuck, but it didn't help.
You mean when Sears Roebuck delivered the 2-room house?
Sears was living in the front room, and Roebuck was living in the back. So long, Bob.
Well, if farmers can't find houses, I guess traveling salesmen will just have to keep on traveling. And that brings us to another door.
No?
Oh, Mrs. Nussbaum.
You were expecting maybe Emperor Shapiro-Hito?
Tell me, Mrs. Nussbaum, how do you feel about the housing shortage?
Thanks to the housing shortage, today Pansy Nussbaum is enjoying connubial bliss, if you'll pardon the expression.
Yes. Well, what happened? What happened, Mrs. Ann?
Is flocking to mine house relatives.
Relatives?
Blood relatives. Relatives without blood.
Say, you must have a full house.
Full. And the couch is sleeping 2 Rappaports, cousins.
Uh-huh.
And the dining room table is sleeping 4 Weinsteins.
All 4 of them on one table?
They are half-brothers. It is making only 2.
Oh, well. I see.
In the bathtub is sleeping Ben Schwartz, an uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And Pop Uncle Ben is the little Pinkus boy. He is floating on the water.
Oh. The Pinkus boy is a good swimmer?
A human sturgeon.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Mrs. Nussbaum, with all your relatives jamming the house, didn't your husband get mad?
Mad? One morning, Pierre is putting on his beret. He is taking his Molly Pecan records.
Took his pecan records with him, huh?
And he is stamping out.
Your husband left you?
For 2 weeks, I am a widow.
Well, what happened?
One night is coming on the door and knocking. Pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat.
Pit-a-pat. Your husband?
Mine, Pierre is back.
Oh, it was true love. Pierre couldn't live without you.
Love, small Pierre couldn't find a room.
Well, here we are near the end of the alley. I wonder who lives here.
Hello, hello, we're here to say hello. Not howdy-do, not polly-boo, but just hello.
Now, wait a minute, look. But just a minute, who are you boys?
We're McGee and McGee, we're songwriters.
What songs have you written?
Have you heard? We're looking for the guy that began the begin to see if we can get him to stop it.
No.
Have you heard? When my baby smiles at me, I wish she'd put in her teeth.
No.
We got a patriotic song.
What is your patriotic song called?
Good luck, Mr. Truman. You're a real red, white, and bloomin'.
Now, look, please. Boy. Tonight, it so happens we're discussing the housing shortage.
We just wrote a housing shortage song.
A housing song? How does it go?
Hit it, Jim. The situation's serious. It may get worse by spring. We need a housing shortage, and that is why we sing. East side, west side, all around Broadway. You can find a place to live no matter what you pay. Hotels and apartments are crowded everywhere you walk. If it gets any worse, we'll all be sleeping on the sidewalks of New York.
Thank you very much, McGee and McGee. Al Goodman and his orchestra have just played June is Bustin' Out a Little Bit. There wasn't time enough for June to bust out all over. And now, what's the trouble, Portland? You look bewildered.
Well, I was just wondering, how did you get back into radio, Mr. Allen?
How did I get back?
You didn't work for a year.
Didn't work? Why, last year I was the backbone of Radio Portland incognito. For 2 months, I filled in when Bulldog Drummond had distemper.
But how did you get to be the star of the Tenderleaf Tea program?
I can thank only one person for this job, Portland, Charlie McCarthy.
Charlie McCarthy?
Uh-huh. Last Sunday, I was the guest on Edgar Bergen's program, as you perhaps know, and as the program finished, I heard the orchestra playing Edgar's theme song. On my way out, I heard voices, somebody arguing in one of the dressing rooms. Well, I put my ear to the keyhole. It was Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. Edgar was saying,
"That's the last straw, Charlie."
Oh, keep your shirt on, Bergen.
Why, Charlie, the idea of you leaving me to go with Fred Allen, why, that's ridiculous.
Yeah?
Yes.
So, yeah?
Yeah. This is my reward after I've given you the best years of my life.
Well, at your age, you should be glad to unload those years on anybody.
What has Fred Allen got that I haven't got?
Nothing. But he spends a little of it once in a while.
Well, if you think Allen pays higher wages, you're sadly mistaken. His program went off the air because pellagra broke out among his cast.
Allen isn't hiring me, Bergen. I'm hiring Allen.
Oh, I see.
If anybody's going to be underpaid, I will do the underpaid.
So you're going to have your own show?
You heard me. Your ears don't lap over it.
Now, wait. Why, you little whippersnapper, you...
Ah, your father's nice guy. Now, listen to
What happened then, Mr. Allen?
well, I knew Charlie McCarthy was in the dressing room alone, so I opened the door. Mr. McCarthy... Mr. McCarthy?
It's no use crawling back, Bergen. Oh, it's you, Fred Allen.
Yes.
Well, you're just a man I want to see.
Say, I heard the argument, Mr. McCarthy. What's on your mind?
Well, you need a job. I need a partner. What are we waiting for?
But, Mr. McCarthy, Edgar's my friend.
Friend? Do you know what Bergen's been saying about you?
Why, no.
Bergen said you were so cheap that when you brought a pint of blood to the Red Cross, you made him give you a deposit on the bottle.
I'm cheap. Why, Bergen with that pot belly? He only raised that abdominal bulb so he could keep his pants up without having to buy suspenders.
Oh, Alan, you look better to me every minute. Boy, what I went through with that cheapskate.
Why, Bergen is tighter than the top olive in a bottle. He is over penurious, I sometimes say.
I like the word. I don't know what it means, but I like it.
I can break it up. You might understand part of it.
I like it better. Those ready-to-wear suits he'd buy with 2 pair of pants. Then he'd have a tailor make me a suit.
Oh, your suits were tailor-made.
Yeah, out of the 2nd pair of pants, yeah.
You mean that suit you have on now was once a pair of Bergen's pants?
Well, look at the coat. The lapels have cuffs on them.
Lapels with cuffs,
yeah.
huh?
And all my coats have zippers down the back.
But, Mr. McCarthy, if we team up, do you think we can get any work?
What work? My closest friend is Mr. Tenderleaf.
The big tea sponsor?
The very same. Stick with me, Alan, and we'll go places in radio.
Oh, Mr. McCarthy.
Oh, come. Stop licking my hand.
With you, Mr. McCarthy, will I get laughs?
Charlie knows the sponsor, and Charlie gets the laughs.
But, Mr. McCarthy, all my life I've been a comedian. I've gotten laughs.
If Henry Kaiser can reconvert, so can you.
Yes, sir, I promise not to get any laughs.
Yeah. When I started with Bergen, he promised not to get any laughs, too.
Oh, really?
Yes, and that's the only promise he ever kept.
Well, now that that's all settled, is there anything else, Charlie?
Well, Charlie?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. McCarthy.
Better.
It was a slip, honest, Mr. McCarthy. I didn't mean I just lost my head there for a second.
It's quite all right. It's quite all right. I'm not a snob, you understand. But I am the star of the program.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and between the star and the stooge, certain class distinctions must be observed.
Yes, master. I shall remember.
I'll be on your knee, it's true, but that's as far as the intimacy will go.
I understand. I'm the stooge, and I shall keep my place, sir.
That's better. It's nothing personal, you know. But this is radio, you see. It's dog eat dog.
I know, sir.
Yes. And I've just finished eating that Mexican hairless Bergen.
Sir, I give you a toast to the new Charlie McCarthy show.
Good. McCarthy marches on.
Well, Portland, Charlie and I rehearsed our act all the next morning, and about 2 o'clock that afternoon, we went over to Mr. Tenderleaf's office. When we got inside the door, Charlie said to the secretary...
Pardon me, miss.
What is it, Shorty?
Tell Mr. Tenderleaf his pal McCarthy is here.
Are you a friend of Mr. Leaf's?
Friend? Tell Tender Chuck wants to see him.
Are you kidding?
Miss, we're here to audition for the Tenderleaf radio program.
Okay, I'll write down your names. Which one is Pick and which is Pat?
This will cost you your job, young lady.
Miss Goober, I'm a busy man.
Yes, Mr. Lane.
Call a conference. Get all my vice presidents here in my office immediately.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and when they get here, cancel the conference. Tell them I'm a busy man. Where's my portable desk? It's supposed to be wheeled around in front of me. Hand me a desk, somebody. I'm a busy man.
Hello, Mr. Leaf.
Miss Goober, who are these people?
Mr. Leaf, don't you remember me?
Who said that? Who's talking?
It's me. I'm down here.
Oh.
Yeah, about that radio job, you know?
Sorry, Mayor LaGuardia. We're full up on news commentators.
Mr. Leaf, you remember me, Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, yes, I met you with Edgar Bergen.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Bergen, what a comedian. If you're with Bergen, it's a deal. Miss Goober, give this boy a contract. I'm a busy man.
Yeah, Mr. Leaf.
Yeah, yes?
I'm not exactly working with Bergen on this show.
No, Bergen, no contract. Throw these tramps out.
Yeah.
But we've got We've got a great act, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Leaf, give us a chance.
Out of my way. I'm a busy man. Miss Goober, I'm on my way someplace. Where am I going?
To listen to auditions for your radio program.
Oh, yes. I love to audition actors. Hand me my gun.
Here, sir.
Yeah. Clear the way. Stand back, everybody. I'm a busy man. Where's the door? Oh, here. I'm off.
Gad, he is a busy man.
Darn that closet. Where's the door? Oh, here. I'm off.
Come on, Alan. We'll do an audition, too, huh?
Great. Here's the audition room.
Quiet! Mr. Leaf is starting the audition.
All right. Let's go. I'm a busy man. Start singing, you.
Kiss me again, kiss me.
Who's next?
The three Fosdick sisters. Get going, girls.
Do you hear that whistle down the line on the edge of the speaker? And it's been up fast.
Next.
All right, you guys are next.
Are you ready, Mr. McCarthy?
Alan, I've been thinking, suppose we change the act a bit. You sit on my knee in front of me, huh?
No, you're the star, Mr. McCarthy. You sit in front the way we rehearsed it.
Yeah.
Next, who's holding up the audition? I'm a busy man.
Yeah, we're ready, Mr. Tenderleaf. Is your voice ready, Alan?
Okay.
Remember, keep weaving so he can't draw a steady bead.
Let's go, Mr. McCarthy. We're Allen and McCarthy. We're the life of every party. We'll cheer you folks with quips and jokes. It sure will make you laugh. And if you want a song with us, you can't go wrong. By the light of the silvery moon, we'll sit and spoon. We're the life of every party. We're Allen and McCarthy.
Say, Fred, my girl can't wear liquid stockings.
Well, why can't your girl wear liquid stockings, Mr. McCarthy?
Because she can't get her leg in the bottle.
We're Allen and McCarthy. We're the life of every party.
Stop, Fred. The gun must have jammed.
Hey, aren't you Fred Allen?
Yes, sir.
I need a man like you to take over my Tenderleaf Tea program. I'll call it the Fred Allen Show. Name your own price. I'm a busy man. Is it a deal, Allen?
Well, what about me here, Mr.
Yes, what about my partner?
The little guy is out. He has no talent. I'm a busy man. Goodbye.
At last, back on the air.
Yeah.
The Fred Allen Show.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'd better phone Portland and Al Goodman and call up the others.
Yeah, we really put it over, didn't we, partner?
Partner?
Yeah.
You heard what Mr. Leaf said.
Huh?
Scram, small fry.
Now, look, Fred, now.
Fred?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Allen. I've decided maybe we should sort of co-star on this show.
Co-star on the Fred Allen Show? You know radio. It's dog eat dog.
Yeah, but Mr. Allen...
Beat it before I throw a termite on you.
Yeah, but kind sir, I'm not going to leave you here.
No, I'm not going to leave you here. Here's your car fare home. A nickel. So long.
A nickel. What did I step into this time? A nickel. There's only one thing I can do with a nickel. Oh, well, let's go, McCarthy. Hello? Mr. Bergen? Guess who this is? Now, wait a minute, Bergen. No, but you got to take me back. Now, please. Yeah. Well, I work for 50 cents a week. 25? I work for nothing. I'll pay you. I'll be your slave, Bergen. Listen, if you'll only take me back this one time.
This is Fred Allen, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a lot for listening tonight. And don't forget, next Sunday evening, the Fred Allen Show brings you comedy. Drama.
Put that gun away, Vicky.
Yeah? How am I going to squeak this DDT?
And our guest will be...
Victor Moore. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
isn't Hildegard, kiddies.
The Fred Allen Show. With Fred's guest, Frank Sinatra. Portland Hopper, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, the Tenderleaf Workshop Players, the DeMarco Sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And to the lady who sent me the anonymous fan letter, my name is Kenny Delmar. This week, ladies and gentlemen, our victorious naval forces have been coming home on battleships, cruisers, and carriers. Tonight, another flat top has just arrived, and here he is, Fred Allen!
Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Kenny, I hope you are celebrating the fleet's return.
Oh, yes, Fred. Well, New York has gone all out to welcome the Navy.
Oh, I know. Last night, they had 80 men rocking the Astor Hotel to make the sailors feel at home who were sleeping there. And in that picture at Music Hall, you know, Weekend at the Waldorf, they took out Walter Pigeon and put in a seagull just for the Navy. Wish some of the Navy had come in to laugh at these jokes, you know.
Well, Steve, wasn't Jack Benny in the Navy, Fred?
Jack Benny in the Navy? Oh, that was before water was even invented. They had the H, but they were waiting for the two O's to come out of the ark in those days. You know that Benny is the only sailor I know who can get seasick looking at a bundle of wet wash? Benny was in the only naval engagement of the Civil War.
Oh, you mean the Monitor and the Merrimack?
Benny was on the Monitor. When the lookout yelled, "Ahoy! The Merrimack's astern," Benny said, "Have them sing something." You think it would have worked better with 4 chicks and a chuck? You know, if Benny was a sailor...
Mr. Allen!
Well, Portland, gee whiz. You're just in time, Portland. Kenny and I were discussing the arrival of the Navy.
Oh, everybody's celebrating.
Oh, I know that.
Admiral Halsey was on Bob Hope's program last week.
Yes, Admiral Halsey is braver than I thought.
Do you know why Admiral Halsey came on at the end of Bob's program?
Well, why did Admiral Halsey come on at the end of the Bob Hope program?
He's a rear admiral.
All right, it's your joke. You enjoy it. Tell me, is your mother going to participate in the Navy Day festivities?
Mama's going to be in the parade of ships.
Oh, she's going as Hesperus the Hesperus, is she?
No, Mama's going to wear her new corset.
Her new corset, huh?
Mama's going as Old Ironside.
Oh. Say, I hope she doesn't carry the impersonation too far.
How?
Well, if your mother thinks she's Old Ironsides, she may try to back into some dry dock and get scraped for barnacles. And speaking of barnacles, I wonder if everything is shipshape down in Allen's Alley.
Have you a question for them tonight?
Oh, you bet. You know, since gasoline rationing has ended, traffic congestion in the larger cities has become one of the nation's greatest problems. And so our question is, how is the traffic dilemma affecting you?
Shall we go?
As the two Sticks said when they saw the tom-tom, let's beat it. It's so good to be back in Allen's Alley again, Portland. I wonder if the senator is in tonight. Let's see.
Somebody's pumped on my door.
Yes, Senator.
I represent the Solid South.
Well, I know that.
I loaned Mason and Dixon the chalk the day they drew the line.
Well,
Speak up, son. Out with it. Speak up. Up, that is.
Well, look...
You'll never get anywhere staying silent.
Well, if you
Don't try to be another Coolidge, son.
Look, Senator, tell me, how are traffic conditions in Washington?
We're investigating. Congressman Coffee is boiling.
Well...
Coffee's boiling. That's a joke, son. Pay attention, son. Be on your toes.
Well, I'm doing
that. Yeah, you keep missing them, son.
Well, Senator, look, the streets are filled with cars. What is the solution of the nation's traffic problem?
One-way traffic.
One-way traffic.
Yeah, Mondays all traffic moves only to the east.
Yes.
Tuesdays all traffic moves only to the west.
Yes.
Wednesdays east, Thursdays west.
Now Now, wait a minute, Senator. What about the North and South?
Son, that was settled by the Civil War.
Oh.
Yeah, well, so long, son. So long, that is.
I heard you through the keyhole, Senator. The senator dropped a picture of Jefferson Davis. Oh, well, I'll give it to him next Sunday. Now, let's see what happens here at this next door.
Howdy, Bob.
Well, Mr. Moody, you look a little tired tonight.
Yeah, I've been on the go all day.
Busy, huh?
Yeah, I'm working for a tree surgeon.
Tree surgeon?
I go around leaving Kleenex under weeping willows.
Not so messy a field that way, is it? Well, tell me, Mr. Moody, how do you account for this traffic problem? So many automobiles.
It's progress, Bob.
Progress?
Yeah. Hoover said he'd put a car in every garage.
Yes.
Truman's got 2 cars parked in front of every house.
What do you think is causing the parking trouble, Mr. Moody?
Oh, it's the housing shortage.
The housing shortage, huh?
Folks is living in garages and putting their cars out on the street.
Well, how are we going to cope with this traffic problem, Mr. Moody?
I'm a pedestrian.
And your solution is?
Every motorist should drop dead. So long, Bob.
Well, I think Mr. Moody ought to get in touch with the mayor or Campbell's or something. Now, let's try this next door.
No?
Ah, Mrs. Nussbaum.
You were expecting maybe Commissar Muzzletop?
Tell me, Mrs. N, are you concerned with the traffic problem?
Indubitably. If you'll pardon the expression.
Oh, naturally. Well, how are you concerned?
Well, every Friday I'm inviting all my relatives for a big fish dinner.
I see.
I'm calling downtown the Fulton Fish Market.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Fulton is driving uptown with 20 sturgeon.
Oh, the whole dinner is nothing but sturgeon, huh?
Well, the sturgeon I'm cooking all different kinds style.
Oh, good.
Sturgeon a la king.
Yes.
Sturgeon cacciatore.
Oh,
also sturgeon fouillon.
Oriental.
Sturgeon burgers.
Sturgeon burgers. Do you have, with the dinner, you have dessert?
For dessert, I'm serving sturgeon a la mode.
Sturgeon went upstream in the sentence there. You're serving sturgeon a la mode?
This is a baked sturgeon. And topped is a cold sturgeon.
A la mode. Well, with this traffic congestion, Mr. Fulton can't drive up to the Bronx, can he?
It is impossible.
Well, how does he get your fish uptown?
Every Friday, Mr. Fulton downtown is throwing 20 sturgeon in the Hudson River.
Well, how do the 20 sturgeon find their way up to the Bronx?
Mr. Fulton is throwing in a herring and yelling, "Boys, follow him."
Well, that brings us to the last house in the alley.
Hello, we're here to say hello.
Just a minute, boys. Before you get into your theme song, tell me, have you written any new songs for us this week?
Have you heard? I put a blank check in my pajamas at night in case I have to buy that dream.
No.
Have you heard? My Irene's the village queen, but she's always taking Benzedrine.
No.
We also wrote a blues song.
Blues song? What is it called?
I got to walking up Fifth Avenue, crossing 59th Street, stepping over the gutter on my way uptown blues.
Now, look, boys, look. Look, tonight we happen to be mulling over the traffic problem.
We got just the song you want.
Traffic song? How does it go?
Here, Tim. If you're a motorist in New York, you can't drive your car a block. In the traffic, you get jammed. And your rear end you get rammed. Don't just sit there at the wheel, looking like a big schlemiel. Take a tip from me, use the BMT, and sell your Oldsmobile.
And now, say, Portland, will you put down the red herringbone carpet for our guest?
Who's coming tonight?
Well, we have a great surprise tonight, Portland. Last week, as you possibly read in the papers, a New York policeman made his first appearance as an opera star at the Civic Center. He was a great success. Now, tonight, we have another unknown singing sensation, John Charles Muckenfuss.
Does he work for the city, too?
Oh, yes, for many years. John Charles Muckenfuss is known as the singing street cleaner.
Well, where did you find him?
Well, I was going down to see that new picture, Guest Wife, at the Criterion. Claudette Colbert is in it, and Don Amici is also in the picture, and he doesn't invent anything. And I thought it might be a novelty to go in and see the picture. And as I arrived at the front of the theater, from behind a large can, I heard a beautiful voice. It was John Charles...
Oh, this must be Mr. Muckenfuss now.
Get ready. You take his broom and helmet, Portland.
Okay.
Come in.
Friends, is this the Tenderleaf Tea program?
Yes.
Oh, it is? Oh, that's peachy. Then you must be Fred Allen.
Yes, that's true.
Well, if you're Fred Allen, you're just the man I want to see, and, well I don't exactly want to see you either because you're not very pretty to look at.
Now, wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Wait a minute, Bud. Who are you?
Well, I'm Ursula Twing. Yes, Ursula Twing. And I am a lawyer.
You're a lawyer?
Yes. Do you want to feel my briefcase?
Well, no. I'll take your word for it.
I am a lawyer, all right. And my last case was Dulce versus the Acme Poultry Market.
The Acme Poultry?
No, it was. Yes, it was.
The Acme, all right.
It was, yeah. And my client, Mrs. Dulce, was buying a live chicken, and after the chicken had been weighed, it laid an egg.
So what?
Well, the poultry market claimed the egg, and so I sued, and the court ruled caveat emptor, and so the egg was put back in the chicken.
The egg was put back. Well, all right, so the egg is back in the chicken. What has all this got to do with me?
Well, you're in grave trouble, Mr. A. Allen. Yes, not exactly grave either, because I don't think it'll send you that far.
No.
But my client is suing.
Your client?
Yes, Charlie McCarthy. Tonight, you appeared on Edgar Bergen's program.
On the protest,
yes, and I didn't. And you said...
This makes no sense, then.
It said... and you said too much, and you said some very nasty things about Charlie, and you've just driven that little boy into a tizzy.
Oh, I have, huh?
Yes, and you're a very bad boy.
Now, look here, Twing. You and Charlie McCarthy don't scare me. I'll fight this thing through to the Supreme Court. And if that doesn't work, I'll go right over Frankfurter's head, straight to Mr. District Attorney.
Well, you can, as far as I'm concerned, you can go straight to anywhere you want. But I was here to serve you with a subpoena.
A subpoena.
And if you had better, you are ordered to appear in court next Sunday, and you had better be there too, Smarty.
If you had anything left over from the other program, put it in here, you know. We can always... I'm supposed to appear in court, and what happens if I don't show up?
Well, if you don't show up, you know what happened to Pierre Laval? Boom, boom. Viva la Charlie McCarthy.
Really going to sue you, Mr.
Well,
Allen.
look at this summons here. It says trial will be held on this program next Sunday. Why, that little wooden runt? I ought to pull his legs off and make lollipop sticks out of them. I ought to go back over there again.
This must be John Charles Muckenfuss, the singing street cleaner.
Say, it probably is. Come in. Well, who are you, son?
I'm Frank Sinatra.
I'm sorry I haven't time to talk now, son. I'm expecting John Charles Muckenfuss, the singing street cleaner.
Well, Mr. Muckenfuss sent me over. See, he can't make it. He got an emergency call.
A street cleaner getting an emergency call?
On 10th Avenue. It was a rush job.
Gad, here we are on the air, and our guest star is over on 10th Avenue performing a broomectomy.
Well, Mr. Allen, Mr. Muckenfuss said maybe I could take his place.
Well, I'm sorry, son. You know, this isn't one of those quiz programs where any schnook can come in off the street and take over the microphone. We only use stars.
Yes, sir.
It's nothing personal, you understand?
Oh, I understand, sir.
We can only use people with talent.
I have talent.
Really?
Yeah.
Who said so?
My mother.
Oh. Well, tell me, would you step just a little closer to the microphone, son, if you will?
I'm sorry, is this all right?
Just a little farther back, if you will, please.
See, I don't seem to get the hang of it.
No, it's a little difficult. Have you been on the radio before, son?
Well, yes, I've been on once or twice.
Oh, really? What did you say your name was again?
Sinatra.
Sinatra. You're not related to Sam Sinatra.
No.
I used to know a Sam Sinatra up in New Rochelle. He was a glass blower in an optician's up there. If people came in with dirty glasses and couldn't see to get out of the store, Sam would blow on the glasses.
No, I don't know Sam. No, I don't know him. I'm Frank Sinatra.
You're Frank Sinatra. And you say you're in radio?
Yes, I'm on for Old Gold cigarettes.
Oh, are you the guy who squeezes the honey out of the apple on that?
No, you see, I do the singing.
Frank Sinatra. Say, you weren't formerly with the Yacht Club, boy. I see a little brine on your lapel there.
No, I had sour pickle for lunch.
Oh, did you? You shouldn't eat pickles with those short arms, son. The dill drips on you.
See, I have the same trouble with sodas, you know. I have a short neck, and I can't reach the straws.
Oh, really? Well, how do you drink a soda?
I pour the soda out on the counter and lap it up.
Oh, it's good.
I lost that up.
I have short teeth. Every time I bite a hot dog, all I get is a mouthful of mustard.
You know, once I knew a guy with a short nose. He couldn't smell anything unless he put his face in it.
Oh, really? Well, this is all mighty, mighty interesting, Mr.
Sinatra.
Oh, Sinatra. Gosh, it's going to disappoint millions of music lovers. John Charles Muckenfuss, the singing street cleaner, not here. I wonder how long he'll be over there on 10th Avenue.
He said it looked like a long session.
Long session, eh?
The cowboys from Rodeo are parading.
Yeah. Muckenfuss may be tied up all night.
Uh-huh.
Gad, and right here in the program, we're supposed to have a song.
I can sing a number, Mr. Allen.
Well, all right, son, we're stuck. You've got me over a barrel. What do you want to sing?
How about It Might As Well Be Spring?
All right, but don't drag it out, son.
I'll try my best.
Frankie, I didn't even recognize you before. Why didn't you tell me? Gosh, how time flies. To think that I started you on your career.
Yeah, remember when I came to you for advice?
Oh, you wanted to know whether you should take up singing or open a haberdasher store in Kansas City.
Yeah, and you told me to stick to singing.
Ah, who knows? If you had opened that haberdasher store in Kansas City, today you might be president.
Oh, I couldn't be president, Fred.
No?
I can't play the piano.
Oh, that's it. Well, tell me, Frank, that singing you just did, is that the type of thing you're doing on the radio?
Yes, don't you think my style has possibilities, Fred?
Yes, Frank, but you have to think of the future. You know you're not getting any younger, son.
Mm-hmm.
New boys are coming along, Perry Como, Dick Hames, Carmen Lombardo, Frank Munn, and the others.
I think I see what you mean, Fred. Where will I be 50 years from now?
That's probably what your insurance company would like to know. But if we're going to stay in radio, Frank, there's only one kind of a program we can do when we're old men.
Fred, you mean?
Hillbilly.
Mm-hmm.
Frank, hillbilly singers don't ripen until they're 80. I know, I've been in warm studios with...
But, Fred... Gee whiz, Sinatra hillbilly, after all.
Ah, don't worry, Frank. I can fix everything. I know the king of the hillbillies, Zeke Manners.
Ah, Fred.
I can see it all, Frankie. 50 years from now, 1995. We're broadcasting from a little 2-watt station in Nutley, New Jersey. You and I are standing there in our bare feet, with our floppy hats. Zeke Manners steps to the microphone and says,
"Howdy, folks. Zeke Manners and his happy hillbillies are on the air. Let her rip." Howdy, friends and neighbors. This is Zeke Manners and the whole gang. The Hoosier Co-Stop, the Coon Creek Choir, Uncle Zeb, Lily Bell, the Hokie Mountain Boys, and those hillbilly twins, Happy Sinatra and Uncle Hezzy Allen. First, I want you to meet Lily Bell.
Howdy, folks. These shoes is a killing me.
And here's the Coon Creek Choir. And here they be, them scarecrows.
scarecrows fresh from the cornfields, Pappy Sinatra and Uncle Hezzy Allen.
Howdy, Pappy.
Well, howdy, Uncle Hezzy.
Tell me, Pappy, how many hairs onto a pig's face?
Next time we shave, count 'em. Uncle, tell me, what has 4 legs and flies?
A dead horse.
No, our table at dinner time.
This is Fred Allen saying good night, ladies and gentlemen. Our guest next week will be Edgar Bergen in the biggest court
This
trial
is the
of the
National
year.
Broadcasting.
Mr. Allen, Mr. Allen.
It isn't Ma Perkins, kiddies.
The Fred Allen Show, with Fred's guests Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. And the biggest court trial of the year, Charlie McCarthy versus Fred Allen. Portland Hopper, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, the DeMarco sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And for those who weren't at my christening, my name is Kenny Delmar.
Well, this past week, the National Federation of Business and Professional Women's Clubs met to discuss the problem of post-war jobs for women. And so our question is, how do you think women will fit into the post-war business world?
Shall we go?
As one headache said to the other headache, let's take a powder. Ah, it's so quiet and restful here in Allen's Alley, Portland. But I can put a stop to that just by knocking on the senator's door.
Somebody knock.
Yes,
Claghorn's the name, Senator Claghorn.
I know that.
I'm from the South, way down south.
Every week.
Where I come from, when we say cotton, we don't mean no movie actor.
Now, wait a minute. Look.
Look, don't butt in, son.
Well,
Stop blabbing.
I'm not trying to blab.
Keep interrupting. Try listening. Listening,
Well,
I mean.
if I could only get a word.
Don't give me no Gettysburg Address, son.
Now, look. Senator, slow down a minute, if you will, please. You've only 2 more years in office. What is your opinion of women in the post-war business world?
It's got us worried, son. Senator Glass is all broken up.
Well, then you...
Glass is broken. That's a joke, son. That's witty.
Well, I know it's witty.
That's real Southern humor.
I sensed that it was real Southern humor. I'll go down there and enjoy it someday.
You ain't very quick, are you?
Oh, now, look. Senator, what do you, as man to man, or as man to what I am, what do you think about women going into business?
I say let them go into business.
Fine.
Women can be politicians. Women can be bartenders.
Good.
Bartenders, that is.
Yes.
A woman can even be president.
Good.
But there's one thing a woman can never be, son.
A woman can never be?
The father of our country.
Go on, that is. Well, the senator has an answer for everything, even before you ask him. Say, I wonder if Titus Moody is in tonight.
Howdy, Bub.
Well, Mr. Moody, how do you feel about women working?
Oh, some women overdo it, Bub.
Overdo the working? You're speaking from experience?
Yeah. For 20 years, my wife's been raising chickens.
And she's overdoing it?
She's in the hen house morning, noon, and night.
I see.
One morning, the rooster was sick.
Yes?
My wife got up and crowed, so the hens would know the sun was coming up.
Well, that is overdoing it, isn't it?
Last week, my setting hen got a dizzy spell and fell off the nest.
Yes?
My wife sat on the nest day and night till this morning.
What happened?
Have a cigar, Bub?
A cigar?
Yep. I'm a pupper.
A pupper, eh?
10 of the prettiest Plymouth Rocks I ever seen.
Go on, sir. Well, Mr. Moody owes me 9 cigars. Well, I think I'll try this next door.
No?
Ah, Mrs. Nussbaum again.
You were expecting maybe Dinah Schnorrer?
Not necessarily. Tell me, Mrs. Ann, how do you feel about women working?
On account of working, I am losing mine appeal.
Your appeal, huh? How do you mean?
When I'm 19, I'm having beautiful legs.
You had beautiful limbs, huh?
They are calling me the Dietrich of the Lancaster.
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
Then I'm taking a job in an old girl orchestra.
Not Spitalny.
Oh, no.
No.
Blossom Blomberg and her Brownsville Boogie Babies.
Good.
I am playing sitting down the cello.
Oh, the cello, huh?
For 5 years, every night, I'm sitting with between my knees the cello.
For 5 years.
One night, I'm looking on my beautiful legs in the mirror. Yes.
You mean,
I'm playing the cello. I am bow-legged.
Right.
It's looking like incessantly I am riding a horse.
And today with your bow legs...
Instead of the Dietrich of the Lancaster.
Yes?
They are calling me Hop-Along Nussbaum.
Well, here we are at the last house in the alley. I wonder if anyone's home here tonight.
Oh, it's you again.
Ah, McGee and McGee are songwriters. What's new, boys?
We got a great mother song. It's a sensation.
What is your mother song called?
You remind me of my mother because you are my mother. Mother, oh mother of mine.
Now, wait a minute. You ought to write something for the Senator boys when you get a chance. Look, fellas, tonight I'm down here in Allen's Alley getting reactions to women working.
We got just the song you want.
About women working? How does it go?
Hit it, Sam. My grandma's working on the railroad. My mother drives a hack. My sister's helper to a sand hog. My aunt's a steeplejack. My mother-in-law is now a bookie. But you won't hear me sob, 'cause I'll be leading the life of Riley when I get my wife a job.
Thank you.
Mr. Allen.
Yes, Portland.
Did Charlie McCarthy sue you last week?
Did he sue me? Yes, Portland. My trial was bigger than the Dreyfus case. Dreyfus was there and told me himself through an old interpreter.
What happened?
Well, last Sunday, as you remember, Charlie McCarthy's lawyer served me with a subpoena. I got down to the courtroom even before the judge. And as I came in, I saw a mob of reporters around McCarthy. The reporters were saying...
How you handle the problem?
Gentlemen, please, one at a time.
One statement, Mr. McCarthy, please.
Yeah, well, just tell the world I'm a poor defenseless lad looking to the court for justice. Not that, Abe. That's right. Poor defenseless lad. There won't be a dry eye in the joint.
Say, isn't this Fred Allen coming?
Yeah, that's the swindler. I'll habeas his corpus. I'll mow him down.
Now, close that knothole you're talking through, McCarthy, or I'll pull your arms off and use them for chopsticks.
Go peddle your margarine, baggy face.
Now, quiet. If I give you a hot foot from the knees down, you'll be charcoal.
Your father's mustache.
Your father's mustache, too. You can't put that stuff on me.
Quiet! The judge is coming into court.
Hear ye, the court will rise. His Honor Judge McKeester.
Order in the court. What's the first case?
Charlie McCarthy versus Fred Allen.
Here, let's get going. What's the charge?
The plaintiff McCarthy claims that after he auditioned with Allen, the defendant Allen took the show alone, thereby swindling, mulking, bilking, and diddling said plaintiff out of his rightful share of the profit. The plaintiff is suing for damage. He alleges
I've heard enough. McCarthy, take that stand.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the plaintiff?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm Charlie McCarthy.
Why, you're only a little kid.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just a poor defenseless lad looking to the court for justice. How am I doing, Bergen? Great.
Is the defendant in court?
That's the skunk over there, Your
Now,
Honor.
who's a skunk? Why, you woodpecker's hors d'oeuvre?
Your father's goatee.
Your mother's sideburns.
Order!
Order!
What do you think this is, a longshoreman's meeting?
Now, I'm sorry, Your Honor. This big bully frightened me.
Your Honor?
Shut up, you. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Chiseling this poor innocent kid out of his money.
Your Honor,
Quiet. You're guilty, Alan.
Guilty? You haven't even tried the case yet.
Oh, yeah? It'll only take a minute, wise guy. Hey, kid, what happened?
Well, he gave me the Cornish hug.
Why, that dirty sneak thief.
Yes.
Have you got any witnesses, kid?
Yes, Your Honor. Ray Noble.
Ray Noble in court?
Yes, here I jolly well have, and all that sort of judicial nonsense, you know.
Mr. Noble, where were you on the night of October 21st?
Well, frankly, I don't recall, old prune. But while I have the floor, I would like to say a few words about continuing Lend-Lease. Now...
I object! Pipe down! Proceed, kid.
Ray?
Yes, Charlie?
Remember the night this sneak Alan came over to our program?
Do I?
Yeah.
Why, that was the night I took out that debutante I met at the Automat.
Yeah.
Yes, we made a night of it.
Yeah,
Liggett, you know, to all hours. And then a minuet or two at Roseland. And then we topped it off with a ride through Central Park at dawn. Charlie, I put my arms around her.
I object.
Amazing. That's exactly what she did, old bun. I don't know.
Good work, Ray. Good work.
Are you through with the witness, McCarthy?
Yes, Your Honor. You're a witness, Alan.
Good. Now, Mr. Noble, isn't it true...
Next witness!
Next witness? I haven't even had a chance...
One more blab out of you, big mouth. One more blab and I'll throw you in the clink.
I'm being railroaded.
Why, if I had something on under this robe, I'd take it off and come down there.
I dare you to.
Quiet. I got a good mind to try putting me gravel in your mouth for size. Next witness.
I guess that's me, Mr. Bergen.
Well, that's you.
Yeah, the witness looks as if he's half asleep.
Well, I just woke up. Where am I?
You're in court.
Oh, well, guilty, Your Honor.
You ain't on trial, stupid. What's your name?
Well, it's, the name is, it sort of caught me off my guard, Martha Raye, yeah.
Yeah, raise your right hand.
Yeah, the right, which is right? Well, point it out now, raise it.
All right. You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
No, sir. No, nobody's going to trap me.
I object. Your Honor, may I ask this witness just one question?
Well, do you think you can handle him, Snoid?
Let me at him, Judge. He's my meat.
Mortimer Snerd, isn't it a fact that you are unfit to testify?
Well,
Isn't it common knowledge that you are a chowderhead?
No.
A moron junior grade? And a dehydrated nincompoop?
Hey, Mr. Bergen, yeah, he's got me cornered, hasn't he?
Judge, if this is a trial...
Quiet, pest. Stand down, Snoid.
Oh, I did the best I could, Mr. Bergen. Yes, I know. He was just too quick for me.
Yeah, nice going, Snoid. This testimony's been pretty damaging, Alan. Before I sentence this spink, Mr. McCarthy, how about you summing up just for the record?
Why, Your Honor, my story is the oft-told tale. The innocent youth led astray by the honeyed words of a chiseling lowlife.
I object! Objection ignored. Proceed, kid.
Thank you. I was happy. I had a kind friend in Mr. Bergen. And then this snake, this dirty...
I object! Save your breath, Alan. Pour it on, kid.
I arranged for us to meet a sponsor, and then this...
Your Honor, and then we auditioned. Yeah. The sponsor said that this talking stump had absolutely no talent. So, naturally, I got the job.
Quiet, Alan, quiet. You got him in a hot seat, kid. Turn on the juice.
Humiliated, broken in spirits, I went back to my first and only friend, Mr. Bergen.
Dear Charlie.
Dear Edgar.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I object.
Order in the court. One more peep out of you, Alan, and I'm taking off this robe regardless. I I dare you, Judge. What damages are you asking, McCarthy?
Well, I was, you see, I was swindled out of the program.
Yeah?
And I was libeled and slandered.
Yeah?
My reputation was damaged beyond words and beyond repair.
How much do you want, kid?
Well, would $14 be too much, Your Honor?
$14? You got this jerk over a barrel. Make it a round number, $200.
$200? Benedict Arnold got a fairer trial than this.
Order in the court. Allen, I'm finding you guilty. I'm awarding the kid $200.
But, Your Honor...
Yeah, 200 smackers, meathead. Get it up, get it up.
But, Judge, before you stands no hardened criminal. I have no record. As a boy in Boston, my father was known as Honest Fred. I was Honest Fred II.
Honest Fred? And you say you come from Boston?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the little Fred Allen who used to live in the stable back of Paul Revere's house?
Yes, Judge McKeester.
Honest Fred, don't you recognize me?
No, Judge.
Wait, I'll take me toupee off. There. You know me now?
Pinhead McKeester.
Hiya, Freddie, old boy.
Gosh, Pinhead, you a judge?
Yeah, ain't it a laugh?
Pinhead McKeester.
Yeah, say Fred about that money I still owe you.
Oh, forget it, Pinhead. What's mine is yours.
Ah, Chief Fred, you're okay.
Your Honor,
Shut up, you little runt. You know, one more outburst out of you, and I'll have you sawed up into dominoes.
Don't look now, Bergen, but something happened to that $200, I'm afraid.
Judge, I have important evidence.
Your Honor, I've been thinking perhaps this whole suit was too hasty. Let's forget the whole thing.
No, he can't, Your Honor. He can't drop this case.
No?
I have a paper here, Judge.
Oh, Fred, let bygones be bygones. Now, come on, all together, huh? Should old acquaintance...
Quiet!
No?
Go ahead, Honest Fred.
I will prove, Your Honor. I will prove, Your Honor, that Charlie McCarthy is not a poor, defenseless lad. Charlie McCarthy is the most dangerous mind in America today.
Should old acquaintance...
Quiet!
Oh.
Quiet! Mr. Bergen, did you know McCarthy was plotting a campaign to dominate the entire radio industry?
Not little old me, no, sir.
Yes, little old subversive you. You don't know, Charlie McCarthy, that I found this document with your nefarious plan in your dressing room.
Give me that paper, Charlie. Should old acquaintance...
Quiet.
Oh.
Quiet. Listen to this, Edgar, and I quote from Charlie McCarthy's secret white paper here. The Charlie McCarthy Radio Empire.
Should old acquaintance be...
Quiet, you monopolist.
Go ahead, Fred. Go ahead.
From there, McCarthy was going to muscle in on the entire radio industry, Edgar. Listen to this lineup of radio shows he had planned. We the McCarthys, Young Dr. McCarthy, Charlie's Other Wife, One Man's McCarthy, Just Plain Charlie, McCarthy Faces Life, Breakfast with Charlie. Edgar, it goes right down the line to News with Gabriel McCarthy.
It's so lovely out. I think I'll take a ramble into Wildwood. Gangway!
Grab him, bailiff. Bring the little crumb here to the bar of justice.
Your Honor, the Charlie McCarthy cartel is too big for this court. It's a case for the FBI.
Not a federal rap, fellas. Don't call John Edgar.
A foul, conniving fiend who would take over the entire radio industry, ruthlessly tramping all in his path.
Dear Edgar, dear Mr. Bergen.
Quiet, you monster.
McCarthy, I'm holding you on federal charges of violating the Sherman Antitrust Act, violating the principles of the San Francisco Conference, and conspiring to start another war.
Bergen, Allen, mercy, Judge. Mercy.
Yeah, what'll I do with him, Honest Fred? Give him life?
Well, I'm not vindictive, Pinhead. Let Mr. Bergen decide his punishment.
Okay. McCarthy, let this be a lesson to you. I'm paroling you into custody of Mr. Bergen. Case dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Now, Charlie, from now on, you're going to think of nothing but your schoolwork.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to respect your elders.
Always, Mr. Bergen.
And you're going to apologize to Mr. Allen.
I apologize to that dirty rat.
Now, why? I'll split you up the middle and make you a clothespin, young man.
Father's mustache.
Ah, your grandmother's date. You can't pull that stuff on me.
No.
Now, wait a minute. Let him do it. I've got my water wings here. Let him go. It isn't Mildred's Pierce, kiddies.
The Fred Allen Show, with Fred's guests Martha Raye, Portland Hopper, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, the Tenderleaf Workshop Players, the DeMarco Sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And if you're wondering who I am, my name is Kenny Delmar. Ladies and gentlemen, this is National Radio Week. To observe the occasion auspiciously, we wanted to bring you a radio big shot. But all we could get was a blank. And here he is, Fred Allen.
Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Kenny, this week radio celebrates its 25th year of broadcasting. Think of that, 25 years and still in its infancy. You know, the first radio program I heard was from Pittsburgh station KDKA way back in 1920.
How was the first broadcast, Fred?
Oh, it was quite exciting, Kenny. The announcer came on and said, "This is Pittsburgh." The next thing I knew, cinders started flying out of my crystal set. Smoke came pouring out of the earphones. The coil turned into a hot coal. The wires melted down and spelled out John L. Lewis on the floor.
Well, in 1920, radio must have been a lot different, too.
Oh, all of the programs were new then, Kenny. Mr. District Attorney was still going to law school back in those days. The National Barn Dance was just one rube doing a hoedown in a silo. Bulldog Drummond was just part of a litter back in 1920. And radio had yet to hear those two famous words,
Mr. Allen!
Well, Portland. Say, you got a lot of applause tonight.
My aunt with the big hands is here.
Your aunt with the big hands, huh? Well, tell me, Portland, we probably use it the way things start off. Tell me, Portland, are you celebrating National Radio Week?
No, Mama and I are celebrating the end of shoe rationing.
Oh, good, good.
Mama says now that song will be back on the hit parade again.
What song?
Shoo, shoo, baby.
You should spray that joke with DDT, Portland. It's lying there, but it isn't quite dead yet. Say, how can you buy shoes today? Aren't the stores crowded?
Oh, it's awful. My salesman had 4 women's feet in his hands at once.
Say, that beats a full house, 4 feet. Say, he must have been terribly mixed up.
Oh, he was. When I left the shoe store...
Yes?
On one foot, I was wearing a wedgie.
And on your other foot?
I had a sneaker.
A wedgie and a sneaker, huh? With one leg longer than the other, how did you ever get home?
I walked along 5th Avenue with one foot in the gutter.
Oh, that's fine. I hope you didn't step on anybody we know. And speaking of stepping, we'd better start stepping down to Allen's Alley, Portland.
What is your question tonight?
Well, I was going to use that one we heard earlier in the evening about the man who was sitting in Mildred's Piers, but I changed my mind. You know, this week the $11 billion victory loan drive started throughout the country, and since the government is asking all of us to buy more bonds, Portland, our question is, are you doing your part in the victory loan drive?
Shall we go?
As one little doggy said to the other little doggy, let's get along. Gosh, it's good to be back in Allen's Alley again, isn't it, Portland? I wonder if the senator is in.
Somebody, I say somebody now.
Now, look, Senator.
Claghorn's the name. Senator Claghorn, that is.
I know
I represent the South. I'm from Dixie. That's down south.
Well, you keep telling me the same.
Let me talk, son.
Well, all I'm trying...
Let me get a word in. A word, you understand?
That's all I know. I know.
You keep running off at the mouth, son.
I haven't even...
Yada-da, that is.
Look, Senator, what is Washington doing about the victory loan drive?
Well, I say, Congress is all excited. Senator Ball is bouncing.
Fine.
I said Ball is bouncing. That's a joke, son.
Well, I suspected it.
You ain't very humorous, son.
Well, I do the best I can.
They keep getting by you.
Well, I do the best I can to stop them, Senator. But they're so sticky, I don't like to touch them. Tell me, Senator, Are you...
Makes a lot of pauses in that.
We have any pauses left over. We could use the short ones, for station identification. Tell me, Senator, are you behind this victory loan?
I overdone it, son. I can't go back home.
You can't go south?
I told my constituents to buy bonds. Buy victory bonds, I said.
I see.
Our army has won the war, I said.
Good.
Our army is coming home victorious, I said.
Well, why can't you go back down south, Senator?
They thought I meant the Confederate Army.
Oh.
So long, that is.
So long. Say, a piece of corn pone fell out of the senator's pocket here. Oh, well, I'll give it to him next Sunday. Well, let's move along to Titus Moody's door.
Howdy, Bob.
Say, Mr. Moody, you look a little tired tonight.
Yeah, my Sears Roebuck catalog come yesterday. I was up all night reading it.
You couldn't put it down, eh?
Couldn't wait to see how the story come out.
Gosh, well, Mr. Moody, I know you're doing your part in the victory loan drive.
Yeah, I bought $500 worth of bonds.
You put them in the bank?
I buried them in my backyard.
You hid your money in the ground? Why?
Well, a fellow, he told me, he says, you can't take it with you.
And you?
I thought I'd try it.
Well, burying your money sounds like a good idea.
Not so good, Bub.
What happened?
Gophers.
Gophers, eh?
They dug down where I had my money buried.
You mean the gophers ate up all of your bonds?
Couldn't tell my $500 from a hole in the ground. Hold on, Bob.
Well, Mr. Moody's going to have a hard time trying to spend those occupation gophers. Well, I'll try this next house.
No?
Well, Mrs. Nussbaum, I'm sure you're doing your bit in the victory loan drive.
I'm auctioning off mine furniture.
Really?
Mine goal is $100 bonds.
What furniture did you put up?
First, mine coffee table.
Uh-huh.
For $12, it is going, gone.
$12 for a coffee table, huh?
Oh, it is genuine Sippendale.
Oh, Sippendale. Fine.
Next, for $50 is going mine pickle pine love seat.
Pickle pine. Another valuable piece?
A Duncan Feinstein.
Duncan. I see.
Then is going job lot. Teapots, high boys, low boys, assorted bric-a-brac.
Most of your things were gone, huh?
Like old Mother Hubbard, mine cupboard is bare. You'll pardon the expression.
Yes. But you made your $100 goal?
I am $3 short.
Well, how did you raise the last $3?
In the kitchen, I'm finding 2 chairs.
2 chairs?
Mine rocking chair and mine husband Pierre's Morris chair.
And you,
I am selling Pierre's chair. Eureka! I am making mine go.
Well, if you sold your husband's chair, what is he sitting on now?
But he's always sitting on, silly Billy.
Well, here we are. Here we are at the last house in the alley. I'll see if anyone's home here.
Oh, it's you, the pest again.
Ah, McGee and McGee. I'll bet you boys have written some new songs this week.
You bet. Have you heard? It's watermelon time in Waterbury, baby, so I can't elope with you.
Now, wait a minute. Now, look. I just stopped by to say I'm checking to see if everybody is behind the victory loan drive.
Great. We just wrote a new victory bond song.
Victory bond song? How does it go?
Here's Sam. Casey ain't dancing, romancing, or such. He's just buying bonds. The war may be won, but the job isn't done. Casey's buying bonds. Casey's saving his dough for that small bungalow that he'll share with his strawberry blonde. 'Cause she is a whack, and until she gets back, Casey's buying bonds.
And now, say, Portland, will you hand me my pitch pipe over there on the floor, please?
Is this it?
Yes, thank you. Any bonds today? any bonds today?
What are you doing, Mr. Allen?
What does it sound as though I'm doing? Any bonds today? Bonds of freedom? Yeah. Well, you can laugh. Let me tell you, the Treasury Department, all the dealings I've had with them and can't pronounce the name. Heard me singing with Frank Sinatra last week.
The Treasury Department?
Uh-huh. You know, Barry Wood did all of the singing in the last bond drive. Well, the Treasury Department wants me to sing for the Victory Loan. Why, I may be another Lucy Monroe before I'm through. Any bonds today? Bonds
Gosh, Mr. Allen, if you sing like that, you'll get $11 billion thrown at you.
$11 billion in pennies is still $11 billion, Portland. Well, I'm singing on the Staten Island Ferry tomorrow at 11 o'clock. If the wind is right, they'll hear me all over Jersey. They think they have flats in Jersey. Wait till they hear me in the morning.
Who is our guest tonight?
Guess. Oh, I knew I had forgotten something, Portland. You know, I've been so busy. Yesterday, I had to go down to the song publishers to get a copy of Any Bonds Today. Well, I got there early and nobody was around. I thought I'd wait in one of the rehearsal rooms, so I opened the door, and there was a quiet-looking young girl sitting there studying some lyrics. I passed by her window, I think was the name of the song. And as I came in, she looked up and said softly,
Hiya, Freddie, old boy, Freddie, hiya, Freddie.
Hey, I didn't mean to barge in on you, Martha. I'm sorry.
Oh, forget it. Slap the carcass down over here.
At my age, Martha, one does not slap the carcass. One lowers it gently.
Well, lower it gently, Fred. The creaking won't bother me.
You sure? You come across an occasional one as we go along. But Martha, you seem depressed. You look as though you had lost a friend.
Fred, I just lost 1 million friends.
What happened?
The fleet left town.
Now, don't tell me your boyfriend was the Romeo of the Big Mo.
Oh, he was the cutest little sailor, Fred.
A little sailor?
He was so small, his dog tag was a Pekingese.
Would you like to run over that again? Now, there's some... It may be with us. I'm not sure. So small, he's a sort of a sample sailor. Was he romantic in a miniature way?
Romantic? When I smiled.
Yes?
He said it was like a landing barge opening up.
Well, as long as you've missed your sailor friend, Martha, how about going out with me?
Are you kidding?
Well, you know the old Navy saying, any old port in a storm.
It ain't that stormy, Fred.
Martha, there are people, believe it or not, who think that I am not unpretty.
Fred, at carnivals, I have thrown baseballs at better-looking faces.
Martha, for your information, I have my own hair, I have my own teeth. No other radio comedian can make that statement. So what do you say, Martha? Let's go jitterbugging.
You a jitterbug, Fred? Why, you're too old to jit.
A man is never too old to jit, Martha. I read about a jitterbug who was 97 years of age. The day he was buried, a voice was heard coming from within his coffin.
What did the voice say?
Dig me, brother, dig me. Well, Martha, I have to run along. I've got to learn my song.
Well, I have to rehearse my song, too.
Really?
I'm opening at the Carnival Room in a couple of weeks.
Say, as long as you're going to be in town, how about coming on my program some Sunday?
Oh, I'm through with comedy, Fred. I'm going in for drama.
You, a dramatic actress?
Fred, while I was playing overseas for the USO, I learned that soldiers aren't looking for comedy in a woman.
Well, I know that, Martha. And what they're looking for, you are not going to find in Noel Coward, either. Won't Hollywood give you a chance to do it? We could have used some of that on two of those other jokes before. So violent. Won't Hollywood give you a chance to do a dramatic picture?
Hollywood? 10 years in Hollywood, and what have I got to show for it? 200 sweaters and Sonny Tufts autographs.
Sonny Tufts? Gad, they've taught him to write. Paramount did it again.
Oh, if I just had a chance to show my dramatic ability.
Say, I just remembered, Martha. It so happens that I have a play.
A drama? Gosh, Fred.
Now, if you have a little time...
Just a minute, Fred. The band is waiting to rehearse my number. I'll be right back. Okay, boys.
Capital, say, that was swell, Martha.
Oh, thanks, Fred. Hey, now, what about your play? Is it a dramatic? Pardon me,
It's a dramic. It's a dramic. It's a dramic with some tender leaf tea in there. It's a sequel to that... It's a sequel. Let's read between the lines. I think we'll do that. I think it's a sequel to that new picture, Love Letters, Martha.
Love Letters, that big hit Jennifer Jones and Joseph Cotton are starred in?
Yes, Love Letters, but my play is called Mash Note. You are a girl like Jennifer Jones. You have lost your memory. And the way I play Joseph Cotton, you'll think a boll weevil has just gotten through it.
Let's go, Fred.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the premiere performance of America's newest dramatic star, Miss Martha Raye in Mash Note.
I am Bennington. That is my name. I cannot remember my name. I cannot remember anything. The reason I cannot remember anything is because I have lost my memory. I remember only one word out of my forgotten past. One word keeps echoing through my mind. Always that one word.
Murgatroyd.
Murgatroyd. That word was the only link to my past. One day my empty life was brightened. I met him.
Yes, Bennington met me. I am Lord Neville Buff Puffington, keeper of the Privy Seal, alto fifer in His Majesty's Warm Stream Guards. At the last election, given the boot with Winston Churchill. Yes, it was I who won the art of Bennington, but I shall start at the beginning. It was at the beginning it all started, obviously. It was Michaelmas Eve at Lady Cavendish's Fish and Chip Fry. Music was playing. Rather. It was a social event of the season. A group of us young dandies had gathered. I was standing by the harpsichord. I was about to give it a bit of a tweak when I heard a chap say...
I say, here comes Lady Cavendish, but you know, with her niece.
Oh, gentlemen.
How'd you do?
You do.
You do?
You do.
You do. You do.
This is my niece, Bennington. You do.
You do. You do. You do. You do.
Bennington, you may remain and regale Lord Bath Puffington.
Yes, milady.
Come, gentlemen. We're having such beastly fun in the tassel room. We're pulling them.
Oh, I say, Bennington.
Yes, my lord.
We Buff Puffingtons never beat about the bush, you know.
Yes, my lord.
If we have something to say, we jolly well out with it. Hippity-poo and all that sort of rot, you know.
Yes, my lord.
Bennington, will you marry me?
Yes, my lord.
Congratulations, old girl.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I was to be Lady Buff Puffington. He didn't know my mind was a blank. Only one word tied me to my forgotten past. Always the same word.
Murgatroyd.
And so we were married. It wasn't long before I sensed that something was wrong with Bennington. She was incessantly forgetting. Forever she seemed to be saying...
I can't remember.
When I would say, Bennington, I'm off for a bit of croquet. Where are my wickets?
I can't remember.
Bennington, I'm going frogging tonight. Where is my frog net with the short handle?
I can't remember.
Finally, it dawned on me. My wife had lost her memory. I sent for England's greatest psychiatrist, Sir Proctor Prendable Bar. The psychiatrist said...
Your wife has suffered a great shock.
Really?
It caused her to lose her memory.
Shock?
think you say?
She must have witnessed some terrible scene.
Terrible scene.
Someone in agony.
Agony.
Someone tortured. There is only one clue.
One clue, you mean?
The name Murgatroyd.
Anything else, Doctor?
Yes, that would be £2.
Thank you. Murgatroyd, the only clue. I called on the police. To the four corners of the earth, they cabled that name.
Murgatroyd, Murgatroyd. Murgatroyd, Murgatroyd. Murgatroyd, Murgatroyd.
Then success. Scotland Yard found the solution. Bit by bit, they pieced together my wife's tragic past. At last I knew. I summoned her. Bennington, I say, Bennington.
Who are you?
I am your mate, Lord Buff Puffington.
I can't remember.
Your memory will soon come back, old girl. Listen closely. You recall Murgatroyd?
Murgatroyd?
Murgatroyd. An accountant at Hollywood, California, in the colonies when you were there.
My memory. It's coming back. Murgatroyd. I worked for him.
Right. Then one day in March, one of Murgatroyd's clients came into his accountant's office, remember?
Stop. Don't bring that horrible picture to my mind again. No.
There in Murgatroyd's office, you saw the sight that drove you out of your mind.
No.
You witnessed a man going through the agonies worse than death. A scene of self-torture and suffering no other mortal could possibly witness without breaking.
No.
Yes, Bennington. You saw Jack Benny paying his income tax.
Company.
Mr. Allen. It isn't Mary Margaret McBride, kid, is it?
The Fred Allen Show, with Fred's guests Monty Woolley, Portland Hopper, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, the DeMarco sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And if you ever want to look me up in the phone book, girls, my name is Kenny Delmar. This week, ladies and gentlemen, the New American Magazine is on the stands. It contains the life story of Fred Allen. Millions of readers are saying, who is Fred Allen? There is only one answer to this Fred Allen question, and here it is. Fred Allen.
Thank you, and good evening. This is Fred Allen, in case there is any doubt, ladies and gentlemen, in case the name didn't come up earlier in the program. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Say, tell me, Kenny, did you happen to read the story of my life in the American Magazine?
No, Fred. What is it? One of those rags to riches yarns?
No, it's from rags to rags, Kenny. I hold my own in the story. You know, I was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Oh, that must have been a long time ago.
Yes, Kenny. There was no bird life in Cambridge in those days. The stork used to bring his bundles only as far as Boston, and the American Express delivered the babies the rest of the way.
You were born in a small town.
Cambridge was so small, when the Siamese twins stood on the main street, one of the twins was out of town, Kenny. Cambridge was so far back in the woods those days, the mayor was an owl. He used to molt every 2 years and get back in the office again.
Well, what happened when you got older, Fred?
Well, when I was 15, my voice changed, and I joined the church choir.
You were a choir boy?
Yes, Kenny. The first Sunday I sang in church, 200 people changed their religion. I started singing one of... Well, Portland. You're just in time, Portland. Time to strike out for Allen's Alley.
Oh, have you a question for tonight?
Ah, you bet. You know, this past week, a Senate subcommittee published a list of new inventions, aluminum and glass clothing, and electrical gadgets that will greatly influence our post-war lives. And so our question tonight is, how do you think these new scientific developments are going to affect you?
Shall we go?
As one anchor said to the other anchor, let's away. Well, here we are back in Allen's Alley, Portland. Say, I wonder if the senator had to run for re-election last week. Let's see.
Somebody knock. Yeah, vote for Claghorn. Senator Claghorn, that is.
Now, wait a minute.
I know it. They keep going over your head.
Well, I know that. I don't...
If you're listening, you should be laughing.
Well, I'm doing it. Trying to get up. Put points on my words. I'll get one in edgewise. Now, look, are you through, Senator, temporarily?
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah,
have the
Sam.
Yes, Look, Senator, are you upset about these new post-war inventions?
Well, there's only one thing that's got me worried, son.
What's that?
Them new aluminum suits for men.
Aluminum suits?
If they take all of America's kitchen utensils to make aluminum suits,
Yes?
the taxpayer will be caught with his pants down. So long, that is.
So long.
Remember the Alamo.
Well, the senator shouldn't worry about aluminum. He should worry about getting the lead out. I wonder if Titus Moody is in tonight.
Howdy, Bob.
Well, Mr. Moody, have you tried any of these post-war ideas?
Yeah, I started feeding my sheep ionized yeast.
Feeding your sheep ironized yeast?
I was trying to grow steel wool.
Well, tell me, how did your experiment work out?
Not so good, Bob.
No?
Yesterday it rained.
Yes?
Today I got 500 rusty sheep.
I've never heard of rust taking it on the land, but I guess you have. Tell me, Mr. Moody, have you had any other trouble with these new gadgets?
Yeah, my automatic milking machine kicked up.
How?
I had the machine hooked onto my cow, milking.
Yeah?
I went to bed and forgot to turn it off.
You left the milking machine running all night? Well, what happened?
Milked the cow inside out.
Didn't it ruin the cow?
No, she's still giving milk.
Yes?
But the cream is on the bottom.
I should have asked Mr. Moody to do a few curd tricks while he was here. Well, let's try this next house here.
No.
Ah, Mrs. Nussbaum.
You were expecting maybe Lauren Bagel?
Tell me, Mrs. Nussbaum, are you in favor of these inventions to improve modern living?
Forward with science. This is by me a slogan.
Forward with science. Have you tried any of these new household gadgets?
Natch.
Natch, huh?
I am buying a magic Davenport.
What is a magic Davenport?
First, it is only a Davenport.
Where does the magic come in?
You are pushing a button. Presto, the Davenport is hiding in the wall.
Oh, good.
You are pushing another button. Change-o, the Davenport is coming out of the wall of bed.
Say, that is magic.
Magic, tragic, it is making me a widow.
What happened?
My husband Pierre is sitting on the Davenport.
Yeah?
Presto, the Davenport is hiding in the wall.
Yes?
Change-o, it is staying there.
Your husband Pierre is trapped in the wall?
For 4 days already.
And is Pierre still alive?
We are feeding him through the wall, a knothole.
Well, what is Pierre eating?
Frankfurt is one at a time.
Well, after this experience, I guess you didn't buy any other new items.
Only one.
Which one?
They are making shoes from soybeans. I'm buying 2 pairs.
Oh, you like your soybean shoes?
With ketchup, they are delicious. Thank you.
That brings us to the last shack in the alley. A knock here should certainly start something.
Oh, it's you, Saggy Eyes.
Well, McGee and McGee. Now, something tells me you boys have a new song for tonight.
Have you heard? When it's tulip time in Toledo, Tallulah, I'll have tulips waiting for you.
Now, wait a minute. Look, fellas. Look, tonight we are discussing post-war innovation.
Great. We got a song about these new glass suits.
Glass suits?
Yeah. I'll be seeing you in all the open air.
Thank you, McGee and McGee. You're not through. That's what you think. Say, Portland.
Yes?
Is there a copy of today's paper around?
If you want to know the latest news, Edgar Bergen just got married.
No kidding. Charlie McCarthy has a stepmother, hey? Why, that little fugitive from a sawmill, it serves him right.
I'd hate to be a ventriloquist's wife.
What?
If a ventriloquist talks in his sleep at night...
You mean if he throws his voice?
Yes. His wife has to get out of bed and go downstairs to hear what he's saying.
Oh, it's too much trouble. I wouldn't even bother with it. Unless it was interesting. But look, you could see the script before he went to sleep. You would know it. Look, Portland. I'm not interested in Charlie. I just want to look at the want ads. I have to find someone who wants to sell a radio.
Isn't your radio working?
No, a friend of mine who lives in Jersey went home the other night and took the tube. Oh, here's the paper. I wish he took that gag with him, too. Oh, here's the paper on this chair. Let us look at these want ads here.
Oh, here's one. We'll exchange swords and 8 medals for good alibi.
Signed, General Yamashita. He can use a good alibi at the moment.
Say, here's something.
About a radio? What does it say?
We'll give my portable radio to anyone strong enough to carry it away. M.W., Room 40, Gem Hotel.
Gem, you know, that's a little theatrical hotel on 47th Street. I'll see you later, Portland. I'm going over to see M.W., Room 40. Room 38, 39, Room 40. Here we are.
Yes?
Is M.W. in?
I am M.W., Monty Woolley.
Well, Mr. Woolley.
If you are the exterminator man, there is wildlife rampant in my mattress. If you are the bellboy, I want a clean towel.
But
Look at this towel. It's blacker than a side curtain on a hearse.
Now, look, mister.
If you are the manager, I want knobs put on these doors. I'm sick of opening doors with a corkscrew.
But, Monty, I'm Fred Allen.
Fred, what are you doing in this flea bag? Are you furnishing a dog?
Now, Monty, stop complaining. Every hotel in town is crowded. You're lucky to even get in this little theatrical hotel.
Lucky? Well, I'm sharing this room with 4 acrobats, 3 midgets, 2 seals, and a talking hippopotamus.
But there's no light in here. How can you read here at night?
A fire eater lives in the closet.
A fire eater?
Yes, he eats with the door open.
But how?
I read by the light of the fire eater's dinner.
Oh, I see. That clarifies that. To me, at least. Well, I'll see you later, Monty. I'm looking for some chump who put an ad in the paper. He wants to give away his radio set.
I am the chump, Fred.
Oh, really?
Here's my radio set. Get it out of my sight.
Monty, you've turned against radio?
Well, what is radio? Smiling Irishman, jingles, LS, MFT, and those jokes radio comedians tell about my beard.
Oh, you mean when you are on their programs?
Yes. Last week, a comedian said, Monty, if I lose my raccoon tail, can I borrow your chin for my radiator cap?
I remember one comedian said, "You look as though you just ate a full of brush, man, and his samples are sticking out."
Well, another so-called radio wit said, Monty, your face should be hanging down in front of a Scotsman's kilt. Radio bar.
Now, look, Monty, are you through panning radio?
There's one thing more, Brad.
Really?
Now, those crime programs.
What about them?
No crime ever goes unsolved in radio. Mr. District Attorney never loses a case.
That's right.
Your FBI gets its man every week.
Well, what kind of a crime program would you like to hear, Monty?
Just once, I'd like to hear the truth.
The truth?
The story of a district attorney or police commissioner who has some trouble with a case.
Oh, I see.
A guy who isn't infallible.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to be on one of those programs.
Say, I think I can fix that for you, Monty.
Fred, it'll bring back my faith in radio. I'd like to see what happens to me.
Okay, Inspector Woolley, you are on the air.
Mr. Mobbuster. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, champion of the people, foe of the underworld, that defender of law and order, Mr. Mobbuster.
Thank you.
And what is your thrilling story for tonight, Mr. Mobbuster?
Tonight, I will show you how I dealt with the most dangerous criminal I encountered in my 40 years on the force.
Who was the most dangerous criminal, Mr. Mobbuster?
Charlie the Chicken.
Charlie the Chicken?
Yes. But it all started back in 1936. I was in my office at police headquarters, polishing some brass knuckles with my right-hand man, Mulligan. Out of a clear sky, Mulligan said,
Chief, I don't understand it. 20 years in the office, and you ain't caught one criminal yet.
It's just a slump, Mulligan.
67 unsolved murders this week alone, Chief. The streets is jammed with bodies.
Has anybody noticed it?
Some street cleaner stooled on you, Chief. The newspapers is hinting you're a coward.
I'll come through, Mulligan. They've got to give me time. Miss Pitt, my secretary.
Here's your fan mail, Chief. One postcard.
What does it say?
As long as you are in office, our minds are at ease.
Good. Who's it from?
Murder Incorporated.
Chief, you're the laughingstock of the city. You gotta catch a criminal pretty soon.
If I can just get one case, I'll show the newspapers. Miss Pitt, turn on my shortwave set.
Okay, Chief.
Attention all police. Poultry truck hijacked in Jersey. 2,000 chickens stolen. Charlie the Chicken suspected. Charlie the Chicken suspected. Attention all.
Jeepers, Chief.
Mulligan, that's the case for me.
Charlie the Chicken's the biggest chicken napper in the country. This case will be a feather in your cap, Chief.
Right, Mulligan. Miss Finn.
Yes, Chief.
Call the newspaper. Tell them I'm bringing in Charlie the Chicken single-handed. Let's go, Mulligan.
Okay, Chief.
This is mighty exciting, Mr. Mobbuster. What happened next?
Those chickens were disappearing every day. I got a tip that Charlie the Chicken was going to rob the biggest chicken coop in the Bronx.
You were prepared?
Oh, Mulligan and I hid in the coop. Day and night we sat on two nests, disguised as chickens. One night as we sat there in the dark, clucking, I heard Mulligan speak.
Chief, I gotta get off this nest. No kidding, if I...
Quiet, Mulligan. Somebody just came in the coop.
Okay, Chief. I'll get back on the nest. We better start clucking again.
Who's talking? Who's in here? Who's there? Wait till I flash me searchlight. I thought so. 2 chickens with derbies on.
I've got you, Charlie the Chicken.
Coppers, eh? Take this.
We can lay the chief on this table, Miss Finn.
Okay, Mulligan. Easy now.
Oh.
We got you back to the office okay, Chief. No reporters even seen you.
I can't hear you.
No wonder you can't hear, Chief.
Jeepers. Charlie the Chicken shot off both your ears.
No ears? Well, what'll I hang my glasses on?
Gee, you're a sight, Chief. In that chicken coop 3 days, phew.
Let me get some of them chicken
feathers off you.
Yeah, I'll comb this mash out of your hair, Chief.
Never mind the mash. Get this egg off my chin. My beard looks like an omelet with a point on it.
Charlie, the chicken got away clean.
Yes, but I'm a mess. I'll find Charlie the chicken if it...
I'll get it, Chief. Don't bother getting up. You'll dirty the floor. Hello?
Is Mr. Mobbuster there?
Yeah?
This is the FBI.
Yeah.
Charlie the chicken is going to stick up the Acme cold storage plant tonight. Tell Mr. Mobbuster to get going.
Okay, John Egger.
Who was it, Mulligan?
The FBI. John Egger, personally. Charlie the chicken is holding up the Acme cold storage plant, Chief, and the job is tonight.
This time, Mulligan, Charlie the chicken is a dead duck. Let's go.
Okay, Chief.
You've got us all biting our nails, Mr. Mobbuster. Did you catch Charlie?
Not exactly. Miss Finn, Mulligan, and I went to the cold storage plant. We were hiding behind 3 icicles. I heard Mulligan say...
Shh, quiet, Chief. Charlie the chicken is in that icebox.
Good. I've got him trapped.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, what's your next move, Chief?
Mulligan, you and Miss Finn go back to the office and call the reporters and photographers.
But, Chief...
I'm bringing in Charlie the chicken alone.
Good luck, Chief. Let's beat it, Miss Finn.
Now, I'll open this icebox door.
Who opened that door?
Come out with your hands up, Charlie the chicken.
Oh, yeah? Take this, copper. Oh! Now, Mr. Mobbuster, I'm locking you in this icebox.
Oh, no!
You can lay the chief on the floor, Mulligan.
Okay, Miss Finn. He's a solid block of ice. I'll put him down over here. Hey, that was a good idea of yours, carrying the chief home with these ice tongs.
2 weeks in that ice box, he looks like a human rink.
I'll chip away some of this ice and see if the chief is still alive.
Chip a hole near his mouth.
Okay. As soon as I chip off this little chunk, his mouth will be free.
How do you feel, Chief?
Ooh, like a big popsicle. Get me out of this frozen kimono.
A couple of more chops, Chief.
There you are, Chief.
Ooh, what an experience. I'm colder than a snowman's clavicle.
Hey, Chief, your nose is gone.
Charlie the chicken's a sure shot, Chief.
I know. My ears are gone. My nose is shut off. I'm starting to lose faith.
Hey, Chief, why don't you call off this manhunt?
Hey, Chief, this code message just came on the teletype.
Eureka! The address of Charlie the chicken's hideout. Come on, Mulligan.
Okay, Chief. Is this the joint, Chief?
Yes. Charlie the chicken hangs out in this Bowery saloon.
Yeah?
Let's go in.
Hey, you better be careful, Chief. Chief, this joint looks creepy.
Hey, bartender, is Charlie around?
Look behind you, bud.
Clap hands, Chief. Here comes Charlie.
At last, Charlie, I've got you.
Nobody's taking Charlie the chicken alive, copper. Take that!
Gosh! What happened then, Mr. Mobbuster?
Well, Charlie the chicken made his final getaway. He disappeared completely.
And you?
I was removed from office. When I got out of the charity ward, practically and partially recovered from my wounds, I was out of work for 9 years until I got this job on the radio.
What became of Charlie?
Charlie the chicken sold all his stolen chickens in the black market for a fabulous sum and is now living in Florida under the alias of Gordon the Goose. He has a 50-room mansion with a private beach, 3 yachts, 12 speedboats, and a private plane. He spends his days at the track and is engaged to a beautiful movie star.
And so, Mr. Mobbuster, the moral of this story is...
crime does not pay.
Mr. Allen! Mr. Allen!
It isn't Jessica Dragonette, kiddies.
The Fred Allen Show. With Fred's guests Boris Karloff, Portland Hoffa, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, the Tenderleaf Workshop Players, the DeMarco Sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And in case you've looked and couldn't find me in Who's Who, my name is Kenny Delmar. On November 15th, ladies and gentlemen, the OPA cut the retail price of grapes 15%. And speaking of grapes, tonight we bring you a guy who's one of the bunch, and here he is, Fred Allen.
Thank you. Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And Kenny, what was that introduction you just consummated there? Speaking of grapes, tonight we bring you a guy who's one of the bunch.
I'm sorry, Fred.
What happened, Kenny?
My writer who thinks up those jokes I use when I introduce you is sick tonight.
Oh, he's sick, is he?
I didn't have any joke to bring you on.
Well, where did you get that grape joke?
Man in a fruit store gave it to me.
Look, Kenny, the next time you need a joke, don't go into a fruit store. Go into a butcher shop. Get something with some meat in it if you're going to. You know, those grape jokes and parrot gags are all right on the Jack Benny program. You know, I heard today that the Lone Ranger wants to follow Benny's program on Sunday nights now.
The Lone Ranger?
Uh-huh. The Lone Ranger figures his horse can live on the corn it can pick up after Benny's program is finished. Did your luck run out, and did you hear Mr. B's effort tonight, did you, by any chance? Oh, brother, with a small B.
Well, was Joe Lewis on with Jack again this week?
Yes, Kenny. With those jokes Benny gave Joe, it was the first time Joe Lewis has ever put anyone to sleep without hitting him. He did it 2 Sundays in a row. I think Lewis was in here earlier in the evening. I think, though, Kenny, that...
Alan!
Well, Portland, gee whiz. You know, it's too bad you missed Kenny's grape joke, Portland. You're late.
Oh, I was home helping Mama fix our Thanksgiving turkey.
Oh, you were, really? Mm-hmm. There are plenty of turkeys this year. Even the turkeys can have turkey for dinner this year.
It's funny. Last year we had 2 Thanksgivings and no turkey.
That's true. And this year there are plenty of turkeys and no cranberries.
Well, Mama's making her own cranberries.
Oh, is she really? How?
You know those little white cocktail onions?
Yeah.
Mama paints them with mercurochrome.
Paints them? Cocktail onions with mercurochrome. How do these cranberries work out?
Well, fine. The only thing is, when the turkey gets near the cranberry sauce, the turkey starts crying.
Oh, turkey starts crying. That weakens the gravy, I imagine. Well, tell me, did your mother get a big turkey for Thanksgiving?
It weighs 25 pounds. Mama's trying to make it small enough to fit in the oven.
Oh, your mother should have read Mayor LaGuardia's instructions on how to get big turkeys into little ovens. You know, the mayor says all you have to do is take out the turkey spine, bend the legs up under the sacroiliac, fold both wings over the Bombay door, butter the sides of the oven, and slip the turkey in.
Mama read the mayor's instructions.
And she didn't like them?
Mama said it would be easier to get the mayor into the oven.
Not with his hat on, it wouldn't. And speaking of turkeys reminds me, Portland, it's time we took a gander at our friends in Allen's Alley.
Oh, what is your question tonight?
Well, the Clothing Manufacturers Association recently announced that due to the acute shortage of materials, it will be impossible to produce enough suits to supply men this coming year. And so our question tonight is this impending clothing shortage going to affect you?
Shall we go?
As the 2 Morse code operators said after they had made some dots, let's make a dash. Say, it's mighty quiet down here in Allen's Alley tonight, Portland. I wonder what the senator is up to. Let's see.
Somebody knock.
Yes, I know.
Claghorn's the name. Senator Claghorn, that is.
Every week.
I come from Dixie. I'm loyal to the South.
You keep telling me this.
I never go to a movie unless Ann Southern is in it.
Well, look, Senator.
On the radio, I never listen to Mr. and Mrs. Knoll.
Now, Senator.
Speak up, son. Out with it.
Well, I'm trying to say.
You don't say nothing. You just stand there gawking. Gawking, that
Well, I'm
is.
doing the best I can. I don't get a chance to get in here.
Now, look, Senator, can I cut in just for a second? How does Washington feel about this clothing shortage?
Congress was in an uproar, son.
Really?
Somebody, get this now.
Yeah?
Somebody was crossing Senator Bridges.
You mean?
Crossing bridges, that's a joke, son.
I know it.
Laugh right up, don't hold it in.
Well, I don't get...
Yeah, tell the truth, son. I'm too fast for you.
Well, look, Senator, has this clothing shortage affected you personally?
It's terrible. I've been wearing the same suit since I was elected 5 years ago.
One suit for 5 years? Isn't it worn out?
My suit's so worn out it might cost me my job.
Your job? How do you mean, Senator?
If my trousers get any thinner...
Yes?
I'm liable to lose my seat in the Senate. So long, that is.
So long, Senator. I'll make a note of it. Well, Congress may soon see the end of the Senator from indications. Well, I wonder if old Titus Moody is here.
Howdy, Bub.
Ah, Mr. Moody. Say, you look a little beaten tonight.
Yeah, my temper's about to slip its moorings, Bub.
Temper going out to sea. Has something go wrong on the farm?
Had a dust storm. Dust kept blowing for 5 days.
5 days, eh?
My chickens must have swallowed a bushel of dust.
A bushel of dust? Well, what happened?
My hens are all laying powdered eggs.
I see.
Dirty powdered eggs.
Well, naturally, with the dust in the...
Yeah, the eggs has got pebbles for yolks.
Well, now... Tell me, Mr. Moody, has the shortage of men's clothing bothered you?
Oh, things got so bad I had to take the old suit off my scarecrow.
Say, that's good.
Not so good, Bub.
Well, why?
My wife left home.
Because you're dressed in that scarecrow's outfit?
Yeah, as long as I'm wearing this suit...
Yes?
The old crow won't come near me. So long, Bub.
So long. Well, if Mr. Moody ever wants a drink, he'll probably have to stop at a crow bar. Well, that's the last joke I'll ever buy from an usher. Well, let's move. I'm through the halls writing all week long, and it comes to this. Well, let's move along to this next door.
No?
Ah, Mrs. Nussbaum.
You were expecting maybe Lena Turner?
Tell me, Mrs. Nussbaum, has the men's clothing shortage upset your household?
Mein husband, Pierre, is frantic.
Frantic?
There is such a word?
Yes, frantic. Frantic is a word.
I thought maybe I was making it up.
Oh, no.
No, when I'm least expecting it sometimes, I'm coning an expression.
Oh, I can imagine. Well, tell me, has your husband tried to buy any new clothes recently?
He is going to Horowitz's herringbone heaven.
Horowitz's herringbone heaven, and?
Horowitz is having only one herringbone left, which Horowitz personally is wearing.
Well, naturally. What did Pierre do?
First, he is wearing his Mickey Mouse sweatshirt with Boy Scout pants.
Oh, that's some combination. Mickey Mouse sweatshirt and Boy Scout pants. Pierre must have looked snappy.
He is looking snappy until the Boy Scout is taking back the pants.
Oh, I see. You had to make Pierre another pair in a hurry, huh?
It is an emergency.
Good.
I'm using the Sunday newspaper, the comic section.
Oh, you made Pierre a pair of pants out of the funny papers?
Yes. Down the left leg is Little Orphan Annie.
Yeah?
The right leg is Terry and the Pirates.
And in the back?
Is Dick Tracy.
Ah, Dick Tracy.
If you think Itchy was in a spot before,
yeah?
You should see him now.
Well, here we are at the last house in Allen's Alley. I'll see what's going on in here.
Oh, it's you again.
Well, only one McGee tonight. Where's your partner?
He's singing at a smoker.
Oh, really?
The faithful followers of Carmen Lombardo.
Those two guys meeting again this year, are they? Well, tonight, I was going to ask you fellas about the men's clothing shortage.
I got a song about men's clothes.
Oh, great.
Here's a copy. You can sing it with me.
Oh, I can sing with you? Okay, let's go.
Hit it, Sam.
Oh, my shiny old shabby blue suit. Full of holes, but I don't give a hoot. You can look through and see my appendectomy.
The tattoo on my chest and the mole on my knee.
And when winter winds start blowing through, you'll see all my goose pimples in view. Through life I will glide. I'll have nothing to hide in my shiny old shabby blue suit with 2 pairs of pants.
Say, Portland.
Yes?
Would you mind taking over for the rest of the program? I'm all in. I've got to lie down for a little while.
Lie down?
I haven't slept a wink all week. I am as tired as a violin player's middle finger after 16 bars of pizzicato. You know, I had to get out of my apartment this week.
Well, haven't you tried to find a new apartment?
Oh, tried. Portland, what I have been through. Yesterday, Kenny Delmar gave me the address of a rental agency over on 6th Avenue. Well, sir, I started out early in the morning. Ah, this must be the agency. Uh-huh. There's the sign on the door. Hotchkiss, and Badoo. Rentals, notary public, insurance, chicken dinners to take out, and New York representatives of Boris Minovich. Open all night, walk in. Well, at least I'll come out of here with something.
Yes?
Mr. Hotchkiss, my name is Allen.
I'm a busy man. Don't bother me. What do you want?
Well,
don't tell me. I'll get involved. I'm a busy man.
Well, I'd like to get an apartment.
An apartment? I'm living under this desk here myself. Go find your own desk. Beat it. I'm a busy man.
Well, now, wait a minute. You're a rental agent. You've got to find me a place to live.
Well, something came in last night.
A room? Where?
In the Statue of Liberty. They found a cavity in one of her teeth. It was a molar. 2 people can live in it.
I'll take it.
Too late. The cavity was filled this morning.
Now, look, Mr. Hotchkiss, you're looking at a desperate man. A desperate man, that is. I'll take anything. A hook in someone's closet if I can...
Wait, there's a guy came in a minute ago. He wants to rent his house. Hey, Bud, I got a prospect for you. Alan, meet Boris Karloff.
Boris Karloff.
Thank you. I beg your pardon. Have we met before?
Mr. Karloff, don't you remember me? Take a good look at my face.
You look like something that fell out of a closet in my last picture.
Mr. Karloff, I'm Fred Allen. I met you in Hollywood.
Oh, yes. You were out there making a horror picture.
Well, I didn't go out to Hollywood to make a horror picture. My picture just happened to turn out that way. And I may say in rebuttal, Mr. Karloff, seeing you in person is sort of a letdown.
How do you mean, Fred?
Well, you look human. Now, I expected to see a man who was part monster with a long, ratty tail.
Suit serves to cover it nicely, doesn't it?
Yes, I notice your tailor left enough room in back there in case you get happy and start wagging. But tell me, Boris, what brings you to New York? Are you going into that show, Follow the Ghouls? Or I Remember Mummy?
No, Fred. I'm just here sightseeing.
Oh, sightseeing, huh? Mm-hmm. Sightseeing to you, I guess mornings you just lift up a manhole cover and take a long stroll through a sewer, meeting old acquaintances. Afternoons you browse around the morgue. And nights, I imagine, you whoop it up around some cemetery.
Why, Fred, how you do go on.
Well, how do you spend your day?
Mornings, I scamper through Central Park, up hill and down dale with my butterfly net.
Oh, really?
Afternoons, I go to Macy's toy department and spend an hour or two perched on Santa Claus' knee.
You do?
Nights, I run around Shrats, blowing through straws that are left in soda glasses.
And then?
Dog-tired, lark-happy, and smelling of phosphate, I'm home safely tucked in bed by 8 o'clock.
Well, that makes a full day smelling of phosphate, Boris. But let's get down to business. I have no place to sleep these nights. The rental agent says...
Yes. I'm going back to Hollywood, and I'd like to rent my house.
Rent your house. Good. When can I see it?
Why don't you drop in tonight?
What's the address?
237 92nd Street.
Gad. The house on 92nd Street. Well, Portland, that night I started for Boris Karloff's house. It was pitch dark. The wind was blowing. A storm was coming up. I finally found it, the house on 92nd Street. It was a creepy-looking joint. I walked up the rickety steps. I rang the doorbell. The door opened slowly. I heard an old woman say,
"Come in."
Mr. Karloff is expecting me.
I'll tell him you're here.
She sounds like the wife of the smiling Irishman. Gosh, it's gloomy in here. What's this? Gad, a human head rolling down the hall.
What's up, chum?
Who's that? Who's talking?
It's me down here, the head.
Who are you, head?
I used to be Karloff's girlfriend.
What became of your body?
I had a corn on one foot.
Yes?
Karloff told me he was chiropodist.
Yes?
He started cutting off my corn. Well, I fell asleep. I could feel Karloff cutting.
Yes?
When I woke up, my corn was gone, Karloff was gone, I was gone.
You were gone?
All but my head.
Gad, Karloff must be mad.
Karloff's mad. How do you think I feel?
I can imagine.
Well, I gotta go, chum. Stop me rolling, will you?
In what direction?
Which way is can you top this?
Oh, you're going to see the repeat show, are you? Well, I'll give you a head start. Here we go.
Thanks, chum.
Okay, head. Gad, this place is spooky. I'm getting out of here. Where does this door go? A closet. Wow, it's dark and musty.
Hello, Fred.
Yipe! Oh, it's you, Boris Karloff. What are you doing in this closet?
I was just hanging up an old suit.
Boris, I think you left a man in the suit.
I never hang a suit up empty. It wrinkles.
Now, look, Boris.
Follow me, Fred. I'll show you the house.
No, never mind. I can get a room at the Z.
The Z?
The Z is a little place in back of the Y. Well, I'll be getting...
Here, come, Fred. It's dark. Take my hand.
Gad, your hand is clammy, Boris. It feels like 5 eels with hangnails.
This way, Fred, and I'll show you the house. Now, this room here is the parlor.
Hello, Karloff.
Hello, Frankie. Fred, meet Frankenstein.
Frankenstein?
Go away. Leave me alone.
You must excuse Dr. Frankenstein, Fred. He's frustrated.
Frustrated?
He hasn't made any new monsters in 3 years.
Why?
The war, you know. He can't get parts.
No wonder Frankenstein's upset. No parts, and under the name of Frankenstein losing that election in Detroit? Well, let's get along, Boris.
Now, down this hall.
Say, what's this door?
Don't go near that door.
But
It only leads to the basement.
Well, let's take
I warn you, Alan, don't ever look in there. Pardon me. There's someone at the front door.
He's gone. Karloff must be hiding something in that basement. I'll open this door. Gad, the basement is filled with machinery. 2 scientists working there. They're talking.
How can you keep a dead fish from smelling?
Cut off its nose.
What has 4 wheels and flies?
A garbage wagon.
10 men under an umbrella, nobody got wet.
It wasn't raining.
That's enough, Professor. Start the dehydrator.
Jeepers, here comes Karloff.
Sorry I kept you waiting, Fred.
Oh, that's all right, Boris. Who was at the front door?
Man from the medical school.
Really?
Wants to know if I got any new bodies for him today.
Oh.
I told him to wait.
Well, Boris, I've got to be getting along, old boy.
Excuse me. That's the phone. I'll be right back.
He's gone again. I've got to see what's going on in that basement. I'll open the door.
Why do you always flirt with waitresses?
I'm playing for big stakes.
In 6 months, my wife made me a pauper.
Was it a boy or a girl?
Why does a fireman wear red suspenders?
To hold up his pants.
Okay, Professor, start the compressor.
Gosh, if I didn't know that Abbott and Costello were in Hollywood, I'd swear... Here comes Karloff.
Alan, did I see you near that basement door?
Basement? Why, no, Boris. Who was on the phone?
Dracula. He's been drinking.
Dracula's off on a bat again, hey?
Come, Fred, I'll show you the rumpus room. Darn it, the front door and the phone. Don't go away.
The basement. I've got to find out what those scientists are doing down there.
What kind of a hen lays the longest?
A dead hen.
Do you know Lincoln's Gettysburg Address?
I didn't even know he moved.
Waiter, there's a fly in my soup.
How much can a little fly drink?
Professor, set the neutron gauge.
Neutron gauge. I think I understand.
Oh, you do you?
Karloff!
Alan, I saw you open the door to my basement.
But I only...
I warned you. I told you the man who looked in there would never live to tell what he saw.
Karloff! Put down that knife.
Alan, your time has come.
You're insane, Karloff. I know your mad plan.
What plan?
Those 2 scientists in the basement with those jokes.
You know?
Yes. They're jamming millions of old radio jokes into that huge condenser. The uranium cyclotron will reduce those old jokes down to one concentrated gag. It will be the most powerful bad gag the world has ever known. That gag will be...
No.
The atomic joke. If that joke is ever spoken into a microphone, Karloff, it will blow up all of radio.
Yes, my atomic joke will destroy radio and benefit humanity.
You are crazy, Karloff. Your atomic joke will never succeed.
The atom can destroy everything.
Everything but radio. If radio can survive 15 years of Jack Benny, nothing can ever hurt it. Thank you for joining us tonight.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Mr. Allen! Mr. Allen!
It isn't the Smiling Irishman, and I didn't drive months mad. Thanks for the gag, Rochester.
The Fred Allen Show, with Fred's guest Leo DeRocha, Portland Hopper, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, the Tenderleaf Workshop Players, the DeMarco Sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And in case you're doing your Christmas shopping early, my name is Kenny Delmar. Last Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, an Army Air Force crew completed a record-breaking non-stop flight from Guam to Washington, D.C. in a B-29. Tonight we bring you a man who will never again be 29, and here he is, Fred Allen.
Thank
Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And Kenny, I had the misfortune to overhear that joke there. A man who will never again be 29. You are sharp tonight, Kenny.
Oh, thank you, Fred.
You are as sharp as either end of a butterball on a warm day. But I read about that flight from Guam to Washington. Those AAF boys broke the non-stop, non-fueling record.
Yeah, well, who held the old record?
The old record was held by Superman, Kenny.
Superman?
Yes, when Superman flew, he was handicapped by adverse weather conditions. He got caught in a storm, as I remember, over Alaska. Ice formed on the hem of his cape. Headwinds ripped off his jersey. His credentials were blown away.
Well, if Superman, if he landed without that big letter on the front of his jersey, how did people know who he was?
Well, Superman is a contortionist, Kenny. He made a mess of himself. It wasn't for holding that record.
Mr. Allen!
Well, Portland, just in time. Say, tell me, did you enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner? And no turkey jokes, please. I heard so many turkey jokes this past week, feathers started growing out of my radio. It's molting around the antenna.
Well, Mama and I went to a hotel Thanksgiving.
Oh, for your dinner?
Yes. The chief cooked a wonderful meal.
The chief? You mean the chef, don't you?
The cook at the hotel is an Indian.
Oh, the Algonquin. Say, you and your mother must be stepping out.
Oh, Mama has to. She's in the social swim.
Really? If your mother is in the social swim, she's going down for the third time. Your mother thinks society is something they have for the prevention of cruelty to animals.
Mama's...
Audubons. They have a society for the prevention of cruelty to Audubons, too.
Mama's going to the opera tomorrow night.
Oh, really? The riffraff getting in this season? That's right. The Met is opening this week. All the big opera stars will be back here in town. Lawrence Melchior, Lily Pons, Singing Sam, Andy Russell. Is your mother going formal? Is she wearing her mink knickers?
Mama's wearing her new backless evening gown.
Oh, backless?
Uh-huh. She wants to show off her new tattoo.
Tattoo?
On Mama's back, it says, "Buy Victory Bonds."
Oh, boy. Some slogan.
Oh, it works out swell.
Well, how do you mean?
Between her shoulder blades, Mama has a little mole.
And?
In the word victory,
yeah,
the mole dots the I.
The mole, and imagine the mole knowing that much about grammar. Well, with your mother, if it ever gets low someday, it'll be a comma. But with your mother's shoulder blades, the whole thing must be in parenthesis. And speaking of parentheses, your mother is a parent, and this is a good time to start for Allen's Alley.
What is your question for tonight?
Well, Portland, this past week, President Truman recommended a 5-point national health program to provide free medical care for the nation's sick. And so our question tonight is, what is your reaction to the president's health plan?
Shall we go?
As one glutton said to the other glutton, let's cram. Well, here we are, regardless of the traffic. Here we are back in Allen's Alley, Portland. I'll see if Senator Claghorn is in.
Somebody knock. Claghorn's the name, Senator Claghorn, that is.
I know you.
I'm from Dixie.
Now, look,
Thanksgiving, that is. I only ate the part of the turkey that's facing south.
Senator, I know you're from the South.
Well, no man living can make me wear a union suit.
You don't want underwear.
What's on your mind, son? Speak up.
Well, if you give me half...
This is America, son. You got free speech.
I'm trying to exercise...
Well, go ahead and talk, son. Don't wait to be prodded. Prodded, that is.
Look, I know what prodded is. Now, just inhale for a second there, Senator, and answer this question. How does Washington feel about the president's health program?
Now listen to this, son. I don't want to waste any more here. We had a big debate in Congress. Somebody was running running down Senator Hill. Running downhill, that's a joke, son.
I know it's a joke.
When you hear something funny, laugh, son.
Well,
I know I wasted another one on you. Well, now admit it, son, you ain't much of a wit.
Look, Senator, what do you think will happen if the government provides money for our medical care?
Things will boom, son.
Well, how do you mean things will boom, Senator?
If people can get paid for being sick, they'll all lay down.
I see.
With 130 million Americans flat on their backs,
yes,
things will be looking up. Yeah, up that is. I just thought of something. Remember Stonewall Jackson?
I'll keep it in mind. Well, that takes care. I like to stake Stonewall apart and throw a rock at a time at the senator. Well, now let's see what's on Titus Moody's mind tonight.
Howdy, Bob.
Well, Mr. Moody, frankly, you look a little tousled tonight.
I just got up.
You were in bed all day?
No, I fell down. I just got up.
Well, tell me, Mr. Moody, what do you think of the president's new health program?
I could have used it 40 years ago.
Oh, you mean as a baby you were sickly?
Yeah, doctor said I was anemic.
Oh, you had no blood?
If a mosquito lit on me, he was wasting his time.
Gosh.
If I cut my finger...
The cut wouldn't bleed?
To just hiss a little and pucker.
How did they cure you?
Every day the doctor give me a shot in the arm.
And all these shots?
When I was 5-year-old, I was all shot to health.
Good. And you haven't seen a doctor since?
You know the old saying, Bob, a duck a day.
Oh, no, you mean an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
I eat a duck a day.
A duck?
My doctor's a quack. So long, Bob.
Well, Mr. Moody looks as though he's been eating decoys. Well, let's try this next house.
No.
Oh, Mrs. Nussbaum.
You were expecting maybe Catherine Schlepburn.
Now, tell me, Mrs. Nussbaum, are you happy about the president's plan for free medical care?
Coming a bit so closer, I'm having a secret.
Oh, a secret, huh? Another atom bomb?
Another Nussbaum.
You mean...
Already teensy-weensy garments I am crotcheting.
Oh, yeah. You're crotcheting the garments.
And little bootses I'm buying.
Little bootses.
Didies I'm cutting. Lullabies I'm lining. Rockabye.
Now, look, just let me interrupt your hit parade for a second there. Is your husband, Pierre, making plans, too?
Then the Stark is flying in for a landing.
Yes?
Pierre is standing by to shout, Roger!
Roger. Well, you have no doctor's bills to pay.
This is giving Pierre an idea to naming the baby.
Oh, you're naming the baby in honor of the president's plan?
The government is paying.
Yeah?
Pierre is calling the baby Shingle.
Shingle? Why?
This one is on the house.
Oh. Yes, Portland, you wanted something?
I brought you an aspirin. You look all in.
Oh, I am partly in. It's that Christmas shopping.
Have you finished yours?
Yes, I bought my relatives a case of bluebonnet margarine.
1 case of margarine for 20 relatives?
They can spread it among them. It spreads, you know.
Did you buy anything for me, I hope?
Well, that's what started all my trouble, Portland. I went into Tiffany's. You know, it's always so quiet at Tiffany's. The atmosphere is so refined. Well, I was standing at the lavalier counter browsing.
6 Pinkerton men were holding my arm. At the next counter, suddenly I heard an argument. The salesman was saying...
I'm sorry, sir. I can't take. Listen, you meathead. If you lay a hand on me...
I'll pull your nose down your face so fast you'll think it's a zipper.
Leo DeRocha. Leo, what's the trouble?
I came in here to buy some cufflinks.
And I refuse to take his money. It's no good.
You're nuts. I've been spending this money for the last 2 months. Look at these bills, Fred.
Leo, this is Japanese occupation money.
I know. I'm loaded with it. I'm yen happy.
Say, that's right. I read that you and Danny Kaye spent 2 months entertaining our boys in Japan. How was your trip?
Wonderful, Fred. We flew over 32,000 miles to Manila, Guam, Kwajalein, Okinawa, Yokohama, Tokyo, and Korea.
Say, did you see that city where the first atomic bomb was dropped?
Yes, Fred. We flew over Hiroshima for about half an hour.
It was a shambles, huh?
A shambles? It looked like Ebbets Field after a doubleheader with the Giants.
Well, what about that city where the second bomb landed, Nagasaki?
You know that old song, Back in Nagasaki, where the fellows chew tobacco?
You mean in Nagasaki?
They haven't even got a cuspidor left.
Tell me, did you see General MacArthur over there?
Yes, Danny and I saw General MacArthur in Tokyo.
What did the general say?
He just said hello and went back to adding up his points.
Did you meet any of your Dodger players on the trip?
Yes, I did. I saw Kirby Higbee, one of my pitchers in Manila, and Rube Melton hitchhiked 150 miles to visit me in Tokyo.
No kidding. I guess you ran into a lot of Dodger fans with the GIs, too.
You'll find Dodger fans all over the world, Fred. I met them everywhere. They're great guys.
Well, now that you're back, Leo, I suppose you're going to take it easy?
No, Fred. I'm going to start worrying about the team for next season.
Leo, every season you worry. For what? Why don't you give up baseball?
Give up baseball? What will I do? I'm too old for radar.
Why, you've just finished entertaining hundreds of thousands of GIs. You can go into the theater.
Who wants to be a stagehand?
What stagehand? You can be a star. Why, I'll put you in my show.
Your show?
Leo, I have written a new opera. It's based on pinafore.
I've seen a lot of pinafores on Broadway. The Hot Pinafore, Hollywood Pinafore, Memphis Bound was pinafore.
I know, Leo, but my show is different.
What is it called?
The Brooklyn Pinafore. And you will be the star, Leo.
But Fred...
Look, the Brooklyn Pinafore starring Leo DeRocha. The first scene in my opera is the bleachers at Ebbets Field. It's the big game between the Giants and the Dodgers. Brooklyn rooters are sitting around in their underwear. Ushers are running up and down the aisles with rocks looking for Giant fans. Peddlers are going through the stands selling raw meat sandwiches for the kiddies. And as the curtain rises, we have the opening chorus. The bleachers sing...
We're the loyal Brooklyn fans. For the Dodgers we are choiping. We throw marbles from the stands. And from soda pop we're poiping. When the Dodgers are flops, we start blowing our tops. To the Giants we'll never yield. When the Blunts finally score, we cut loose with a roar. To the rafters of Ebbets Field. Ahoy, ahoy, them bums, we're loyal to our Dodgers, ahoy!
And then, Leo, the Dodger team runs out on the field. The stands break into a cheer. Flatbush, Greenford, Thorough, Hall. Who's the team with something on the ball? Dodgers! Dodgers! D-O-J-E-R-S! Dodgers! And then, Leo, you run out of the dugout.
I come on?
Yes, Leo. You stand right near home plate. The rest of the team kneels around you in a semicircle. The infielders have lavender bats. The outfielders have mandolins with mother-of-pearl picks. The crowd quiets down as you step up to the microphone and sing.
I am the captain of the Dodger team.
And a right good captain he.
I am quiet and subdued, and they say a little crude, but I frighten rather easily.
He is quiet and subdued, and they say a little crude, but he frightens rather easily.
Bad language and abuse I never use. No one do I intentionally hurt, though heavens I may occasionally say, I never call an umpire jerk.
What, never?
No, never.
What, never?
Well, hardly ever.
He's never called an umpire jerk. So give a cheer and give a shout for the Dodger captain with a big loud mouth. So give a cheer and give a shout for the Dodger captain with a big loud
That was great. Great, Leo. If Rudy Valley is listening in, he'll never know another good night's sleep.
What happens next, Fred?
Well, now, Leo, comes your big love scene. The game starts, and as you're standing in front of the dugout, something hits you on the ear.
A pop bottle?
No, Leo. It's a rose. Someone has thrown a rose.
At Ebbets Field?
Well, this is a fantasy, Leo. You look up, and there she stands, the beautiful mystery girl. She speaks.
It was me that trund the rose, Leo.
Mystery girl, you're back.
Yeah, I come to wish you luck against the Giants, Leo.
You bring a message, fair one?
Yeah, Leo. Go out and light them slugs!
Mystery girl, I cannot conceal my love for you any longer.
Please, Leo.
You don't love me?
Love your lippy. I'm carrying a torch for you that could light up 2 night games.
Then why won't you marry me?
You gotta get me old man's okay, and that's gonna be tough.
Well, who is your father? Mystery girl, who are you?
You wanna know who I am? Okay, I'll tell you. I'm called Little Bobby Socks. Sweet little Bobby Socks. My heart for you, Lippy, could voice. Before you make me your mate, let's get this one fact straight. Frankie Sinatra comes voice. I'm sweet little Bobby Socks. Dear little Bobby Socks, but I'm not getting younger, you see. Too long I have tarried, but since Frankie's married, it's Lippy DeRosa for me.
Leo, that love scene will make people forget Mr. Anthony and Cleopatra. Wallace Beery and Marjorie Main couldn't have done it any better.
Well, what's the next scene, Fred?
Now it's the big climax, Leo. Get this picture. It's the last half of the 9th inning. 2 men out. The crowd is going crazy. You step up to the plate. I'm the umpire behind the plate. We hear Red Barber over the loudspeaker saying,
What a game, folks. Leo DeRosa's at bat. Leo is the Dodgers' only hope. 1 run can tie the game. The crowd is tense. Cockeye Allen, the umpire, yells.
Play ball!
There's the pitch. DeRosa swings. It looks like a home run, ladies and gentlemen. Leo is rounding first base. He's around second, around third. He's heading for home. The ball is coming in. Leo's going to slide.
You're out! Out! Why, you lardhead, I was safe a mile.
Quiet, you. I'll knock you flatter than your singing voice.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'll slap your head up into a point, and then I'll round it off.
Says who?
Says me.
I'll pull that big tongue of yours out so far you'll think you're wearing a red muffler.
Yeah, you fat as mustache.
Now, Your sister's sideburn.
Your grandmother's goatee.
Your Aunt Van Dyke. I said you're out. The game is over. The Dodgers lose.
Oh, yeah? I'll beat your brains out. Give me that bat.
Halt! Cease!
Little Bobby Sock. You.
Put down the bat, Lippy.
But it's only Cockeye Allen, the umpire.
He is also your future father-in-law.
Mystery girl, you mean that...
Cockeye Allen's my old man.
What's the meaning of this, Bobby Sox?
Leo wants to marry me, Cockeye, don't you, Leo?
Me marry an umpire's daughter? They'll throw me out of who's who.
You'll forgive Cockeye, won't you, Lippy?
Well, if you say so, Bobby Sock. Shake hands, Cockeye.
At last, an umpire hears a kind word in Brooklyn. I may be an umpire, Leo, but I ain't really a bad guy.
I know, Cockeye, but with those thick glasses, how did you ever become an umpire?
I'll tell you the whole sad story, Leo. When I was a lad, I could not see a hand held up in front of me. In spite of how I squint and peer, I couldn't tell my father from my mother, dear. My eyes were oh so very, very weak, but now I am an umpire in the National League.
His eyes were oh so very, very weak, but now he is an umpire in the National League.
As the years went by, I grew up a schnook. My eyes were so bad I couldn't read a book. The army took me, but they sent me back. I tried to kiss the general 'cause I thought he was a whack. I'm still half blind with no physique. That's why I'm an umpire in the National League.
He's still half blind with no physique. That's why he is an umpire in the National League.
As an umpire, I gained great fame. I called a player out who wasn't in the game. Another decision which you may have heard, I'm the guy who made Greenberg stay on third. My life is a failure, I'm up the creek. That's why I'm an umpire in the National League.
His life is a failure, he's up the creek. That's why he is an umpire in the National League.
And then there's a happy ending, Leo. I give you permission to marry my daughter, Bobby Sox, and the entire ensemble joins in the big finale.
All of Brooklyn's feeling blue, 'cause the roach is getting wet. To an umpire's daughter who he needs like a hole in the head.
With me as Lippy's wife for the rest of our life, we can still and cool.
But before you take her hand, you must first understand, I'll get no more lip from you. Swear never, no never, what never? Well, hardly ever.
My lip I will button up when you say batter up, even though games you will rob. I'll be ever discreet, so tender, so sweet, and soon I'll be out of a job.
So give 3 cheers and 1 cheer more for the Dodger captain who won't talk no more. So give 3 cheers and 1 cheer more for this concludes the Brooklyn Pin of War.
Thank you, Leo DeRocha, for joining us tonight. Next week, our guest will be Wallace Beery. Good night, and thank you very much.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Fred Allen Show, with Fred's guests, the Metropolitan Opera star, Loris Melchior, Portland Hopper, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, the DeMarco sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And if you ever want to have me paged, my name is Kenny Delmar. Gentlemen, a certain news commentator starts his program saying, there's good news tonight. We start our show by saying, there's bad news tonight. And here it is, meet Fred Allen.
Thank
you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And Kenny, speaking of news, it may interest you to know that I was called to Washington this week.
Oh, still trying to get out of the draft, huh?
No. No, Kenny. General Grant straightened that out for me.
Mr. Allen!
Well, of course.
What is your question tonight?
Was your family income higher in 1944? And if it was, what accounted for the increase?
Shall we go?
As the nostril said to the Kleenex, I think I'll blow. Something tells me the Senator's home. I smell chitlings cooking.
Somebody I say, somebody not.
Yes, I know.
Claghorn's the name, Senator Claghorn, that is.
You don't have to...
I'm from the South. The only candy I eat is cotton candy.
I don't care what...
Seen Gone with the Wind 72 times.
Look, I don't
when
care...
When I'm in New York, I refuse to drive through the Lincoln Tunnel.
Now, look, Senator.
Now, what's eating your son out with
well,
it?
I just would
Your jaw keeps wagging, but nothing comes out.
Well, I don't get
You're
it.
like Charlie McCarthy without Edgar Bergen.
Well, if you just give me a chance...
Regular dummy. Dummy, that is.
Now, wait a minute. Put me down off your knee, Senator. Now, what about families earning more money in 1944?
Well, it ain't what people earn, son. It's what they can keep.
You mean...
Most people end up with nothing.
It's the law of averages?
It's the Ways and Means Committee.
The Ways and Means?
If you've got means, they'll find ways to get it. So long, son. So long, that is.
So long, Senator.
Don't forget, vote for Jefferson Davis.
I'll write him in. Well, you can tell the Senator's doing a whale of a job. Instead of a cane, he carries a harpoon. Oh, well, let's see if Titus Moody is here.
Howdy, Bob.
Well, you don't look so well tonight, Mr. Moody.
No.
Oh, you have sinus trouble?
Yeah. When I was a little boy, my mother used to pick me up by the nose.
Your mother picked you up by the nose?
I had small ears.
Oh, Well, I couldn't see your ears. You have your earlaps on there.
Yeah, I've been out chasing my wife.
Chasing your wife, huh?
My wife had a dog biscuit, accidental.
Ate a dog biscuit?
Yeah, last 2 nights.
Uh-huh.
She's been running up and down the road barking at strangers.
Well, about these higher wages, how did you do in 1944?
Only made one deal.
One deal, huh?
Yeah, in January, I bought a pig for $8.
I see.
Fed the pig $12 worth of swill.
Yeah?
$20 worth of mash.
Yeah?
December, I sold the pig for $40.
Now, wait a minute. If you bought the pig for $8, spent $12 for swill, that's $20. $20 more for mash, that's $40, and you say you sold the pig for only $40.
Yeah, I didn't make no money.
No?
No, but I had the use of the pig all the year. So long, Bob.
Well, Mr. Moody will never know enough to bring home the bacon, I guess. Let's see what happens at this next door.
No?
Oh, Mrs. Nussbaum.
You are expecting maybe Russell and Yussel.
Tell me, Mrs. N, did your family make more money in 1944?
Money is all over.
Oh, really?
In the closets is money.
Closet?
On the shelf is money. The cat, a little pussy, is sleeping on money.
Well, with all this money, were you and Pierre both working?
I am welding with overtime.
Oh, welding, huh?
Pierre is working in the shipyard.
Fine.
He is a funnel sealer.
A funnel feeler?
Yes. When a ship is finished,
Uh-huh.
Pierre is feeling up the funnel.
Well, why should he feel up the funnel?
If nothing is in the funnel,
Yeah?
smoke can going out.
Oh, Well, what happened to all this money you made?
Pierre is buying a filling station.
Good, a filling station.
Pierre's gasoline heaven.
Gasoline.
Open 23 hours a day.
23 hours. Why not 24?
A man has to sleep.
Oh. Pierre ran the whole station alone?
And what service he is giving?
You mean when a car drove up?
Pierre is running out and combing the raccoon's tail on the radiator cap. Next, with a squidgy, he is cleaning the windshield.
Good.
He is waxing the chassis,
Uh-huh.
putting air in the tires,
Good.
polishing the fenders.
I see.
And for the driver, he is shining the shoes, pressing the suit, and blacking the hat.
Hey, with that service, Pierre must have made a fortune.
In 2 months, he is broke.
Broke?
Pierre is so busy combing, cleaning, waxing, shining, and pressing.
Yes?
He is forgetting to sell gasoline.
And today?
He is still calling it Pierre's gasoline heaven.
Uh-huh.
But the business is going to...
I see your point.
Thank you.
Yes, Portland, you,
Who is our guest tonight?
Well, our guest, there's a little mix-up, Portland. I did have Balsam Bemis.
Who is Balsam Bemis?
Who is Balsam Bemis? He is the manager of the only theater in New York City that isn't showing an Ingrid Bergman picture this week. But he just called up. He can't make it tonight. His popcorn machine went haywire. It squirted 2 pounds of butter on a statue of Louis B. Mayer in the lobby. And he's there with some bread mopping up the lobby. That's what happens. Our guest stars drop out like that. We never know.
Well, is anyone coming?
Well, Lawrence Melchior, the big opera star, may drop in. He called me up and said that he wanted to see me.
Wasn't Mr. Melchior here 2 years ago?
Oh, it's over 2 years ago. He was griping about Sinatra making $30,000 a week. Remember? Mr. Melchior wanted me to get him on the radio.
Well, what does he want tonight?
Well, at that time, I told him to stay in opera. He became a big star, so he probably wants to thank me for giving him that advice.
This must be Mr. Melchior now.
Come in. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Mr. Lawrence Melchior. As a lover of shellfish, Mr. Melchior, I welcome you to our little clam bake.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you.
The last time I saw you, remember, you wanted me to get you in radio.
Here I am again, Fred.
Lawrence, you mean?
Fred, you've got to get me into radio.
Radio? Why, you were one of opera's biggest stars. I went by the Metropolitan a few weeks ago. You were billed outside. There was a line.
Line wasn't for the opera, Fred.
No?
That was the end of the Paramount light waiting to see Sinatra.
Again with Sinatra. Lawrence, stop worrying about the narrow nightingale. Don't forget that you are the great Melchior.
But Sinatra makes $30,000 a week.
It's ridiculous. You, the great Wagnerian tenor, would like to be in Sinatra's shoes?
Why not? My shoes have holes in them.
Look. Gosh, you've got paper in the sole.
It's an old copy of Downbeat.
Well, what are a few holes in your shoes? In opera, you're a star.
Fred, make me another Frankie boy.
No, Lawrence.
Another Perry Como.
No, Lawrence.
Dick Haymes.
Not even Dick Haymes. Lawrence, think back. What did I tell you 2 years ago?
You said Sinatra was just a flash in the pan.
That's right.
He's been in the pan a long time.
Lawrence, you came to me whining before. I told you to stay in opera.
And I stayed in opera.
Well?
I wish I was dead.
Lawrence, in opera you sing to audiences in top hats, evening gowns, mink windbreakers. Do you want to sing for kids in sloppy Joe sweaters and bobby socks?
For $30,000, they can sit in the union suit.
Now, Lawrence, listen to reason.
$30,000. And what does he sing? Cigarette in accident.
You took some liberty with the lyrics, I see. Lawrence, who could take your place in opera? Carmen Lombardo is on the road by request. Who could take your place in opera? Carmen Lombardo is on the road by request. You can't give up Tannhäuser, Lohengrin, and Tristan in his shoulder.
$30,000, but... Relax.
Gosh, Lawrence. Think of your opera tradition. What would the great Melba say if she could hear you now?
Oh, but $30,000, the great Melba would think.
Well, I don't understand what you want in life. You have fame. You just made a picture in Hollywood, didn't you?
Yes, but I was in thrill of a romance.
Thrill of a Romance with Esther Williams and Van Johnson. It was a big MGM hit.
Sure. But who saw me?
Who saw you?
The men who looked at Van Johnson.
The Hollywood autograph fans didn't mob you?
Oh, just one little girl asked for my autograph.
Well, that's something.
She thought I was Edward Arnold.
Well, you did better than I did. They kept mistaking me for Thunderhead, son of Pasternak.
Fred, you've got to get me into racing.
No, Lawrence, and that is positively final.
You be my manager, Fred.
Be your manager?
We'll split the $30,000, 50-50.
And you'll never regret it, Lawrence Melchior.
When do we start?
Right now. You know, a lot of radio producers and sponsors listen to this program. Now, if you can give an audition, we might get an offer tonight. Is there something you can sing?
How about Because?
Because, fine. The Jack Benny contest theme song. I like Jack Benny. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Melchior is now available for any and all radio engagements. After his audition song, any producers or sponsors interested in Mr. Melchior for radio can phone us here at the Fred Allen program. Well, go ahead, Lawrence. Give it plenty of schmaltz. Bravo, Melchior! Bravissimo, Melchior! Andy Russell was in the hall and thought it was a choir. He never heard. That was wonderful, Mr. Melchior.
Any phone calls yet?
No phone calls. Keep your leotard on, Lawrence. When those phone bells start ringing, you'll think it's a good humor man with St. Vitus dance.
Fred, are you sure the telephone is
Yes, it's working, Lawrence. Now stop biting your nails. Every big producer in radio is probably fishing around for a nickel to call us. Now relax. There's the phone. Here's the first nibble, Lawrence. I've got it. Hello? Fred Allen, manager of Lawrence Melchior speaking. You heard the audition? You want Mr. Melchior right away? Well, I'll see. Yes, it's the 4 chicks and a chuck. They want you to fill in.
Do they want me to sing as a chick or a chuck?
Well, I'll find out. You have a choice there. Hello? Oh, you wanted to sing with 4 other people? Now listen. Mr. Melchior sings as a soloist or not at all. Goodbye.
But Fred, it was a job.
What job? A job just for 2 weeks. One of the chicks was molting. If you go into radio, Lawrence, you're not sitting on a nest singing with any group. You are singing a solo.
Fred, the telephone.
I'll get it. Hello? Oh, Mr. Manville? It's Tommy Manville, Lawrence. Yes, Mr. Manville. Hold the line. I'll see. Lawrence, do you know Oh, Promise Me?
No, Fred, I can't sing at weddings. When I open my mouth, I always get a mouthful of rice.
Well, it's a good offer, Lawrence. Not much money singing at Manville weddings, but it's steady work.
No, Fred.
Sorry, Mr. Manville. Thanks for calling. What? No, I don't know Lucy Monroe's number. Goodbye.
Maybe I should sing again, Fred.
Now, Lawrence, stop worrying. Something big will come in any minute.
Maybe we could call back the chicks and the chuck.
No, Lawrence.
If the next is big enough, I could sit.
Now, please, Lawrence. Hello? Yes, Mr. Melchior is here. Hold it, I'll ask him. Lawrence.
Yes,
can you sing in a blonde wig and slacks?
In a blonde wig?
It's Phil Spitaldi. What shall I tell him?
Tell him my wig size is 7.5.
Yes, Bill. What? No, I won't let him sing falsetto with 14 dames. Goodbye. You're going to sing a solo or nothing.
But, Fred, I'm
hungry, Lawrence. Hello? Yes? An offer for Mr. Melchior? What? You sing a solo? We'll be right over. Goodbye. Lawrence, this is it. Grab your hat and alpine stock.
Never mind my hat. Let us go.
All right, let's... Ah, this is the studio, Lawrence. See that sign on the door?
Radio Productions Incorporated.
Let's go in.
Can I help you, Jim?
I am Mr. Melchior's manager. This is Mr. Lawrence Melchior.
Oh, Mr. Badu, Mr. Melchior's here.
Ah, Melchior, the great Melchior, it's you.
How do you do?
Mr. Melchior, everything is ready.
Not so fast, Badu. Before we sign anything, remember Mr. Melchior will only sing a solo.
It is a solo. The orchestra is 100 musicians.
At last, you're in radio, Lawrence. Are you happy?
Fred, I can never thank you.
The studio is ready, Mr. Melchior, right through here.
And what an orchestra. What an orchestra. Toscanini personally is playing the cymbal.
We're ready, Mr. Badu.
Here is your music, Mr. Melchior. We're all set to go.
Good luck, Lawrence.
Thanks, Fred.
Quiet, everybody. Let's go. We're on the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the glorious voice of the great Lawrence Melchior.
Singing in the bathtub, singing for joy, live in the life or die, boy. Can't help singing, 'cause I know the life I really got.
It isn't Evelyn and her magic violin, Kitty.
The Fred Allen Show with Fred's guest Gregory Ratoff, Portland Hopper, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, the DeMarco sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And if you ever want to have me paid, my name is Kenny Delmar. Tonight we bring you the Man of the Year for 1929, a bad year. And here he is, Fred Allen.
You know, everybody from Missouri is coming to Washington. Covered wagons are leaving Kansas City on the half hour. Well, who's left in Missouri, Fred? Well, nobody, Kenny. Next year, Missouri isn't going to bother electing a governor. They're just going to hire a caretaker to walk through the state with a lantern one night a week, I hear. Our friends in Allen's Alley will be nickeled to death to see us tonight.
Have you a question?
Wait a minute, let me read that again. Our friends will be nickeled to death. No, it's the line. I thought it was my reading. Well, Portland. We'd be better off just showing up with some blank paper here. And so our question tonight is, how do you feel about Mayor LaGuardia's return to private life?
Shall we go?
As the man said when he saw the lighted cigarette on the floor, let's step on it. Gosh, Portland, it's good to be back in Allen's Alley. Well, let's see what Titus Moody is up to tonight.
Howdy, Bob.
Say, Mr. Moody, you look shorter tonight.
First time I ever wore a union suit and stockings.
Well, what makes you look shorter?
Just trying to keep up my stockings.
Your stockings?
Yeah. This little door hangs down on the back of the union suit.
Well, I know.
And when I button that door onto my stockings,
yes,
It pulls me down, fits into me.
Yes, it'll do it every time. Well, Mr. Moody, what do you think about Mayor LaGuardia leaving office?
Why, he's been a good mayor, what there is of him.
Well, what kind of work do you think he should go in for?
He'd be a good man on a farm, Bub.
Well, how do you mean?
He's the only man I know that can milk a cow standing up.
Tell me, Mr. Moody, do you think the mayor is sorry to go?
Oh, I know just how he feels, Bub.
You do, huh?
Yeah, I used to be mayor in my town.
You were the mayor?
Yeah, but I wasn't no LaGuardia.
You mean,
After working around the farm for 30 years...
Yes?
I didn't smell like no little flower. Go on, now.
It's too bad Mr. Moody isn't sheriff. He could pinch himself and see if he's awake. Well, let's see what happens at this next house.
No.
Ah, Mrs. Nussbaum. Tell me, Mrs. Nussbaum, how do you feel about Mayor LaGuardia retiring from City Hall?
I'm writing about Mayor LaGuardia's farewell poem.
A farewell poem. How does your ode to the mayor go?
I'm reciting it.
Fine.
The time is coming, Fiorella, to saying goodbye to you. For 12 long years in office, progress was your goal. But there is yet a housing shortage, and the subway fell in the hole. On your radio program Sunday, you were in a fighting mood, cracking down on gamblers and bookies, shouting patience, report at you. You explained to us the OPA, told us bargains to get by Macy, gave recipes for pasta fazool. You also read Dick Tracy. The City Hall you are leaving. To you our hats we doff. Goodbye, dear Mayor LaGuardia. Good luck and mazel tov.
And now, say, Portland.
Yes?
Have you an aspirin?
An aspirin?
Something's wrong with my stomach.
If you button your coat, nobody will notice it.
Now, wait. Never mind that Eddie Cantor comedy. I am in agony.
What's wrong?
Well, tomorrow night, I am going on information, please, with Gregory Ratoff. You know, the big director at 20th Century Fox? And yesterday, Mr. Ratoff gave me 2 passes for the Roxy Theater to see the new 20th Century Fox picture, Leave It to Heaven. It was wonderful. Technicolor and
how did you get sick?
Well, after I left the Roxy, Mr. Ratoff invited me to meet him for a Russian dinner at a little restaurant in the village called the Shashlik Shanty. Well, I went down to the Shashlik Shanty. As I walked in the door, the Gypsy Orchestra was just finishing a number. They had a noisy clientele at the shanty. Well, as I looked around, I heard a voice saying,
"Waiter, I want this dinner should be colossal, terrific, sensational."
Anything else, sir?
Yes. Also, the food should be fit to eat.
Gregory Ratoff. Say, you look excited, Gregory.
I am just ordering the dinner.
And how I'm looking forward to it, Gregory.
Fred, have you ever eaten a Russian meal?
Plenty of food, huh?
A Russian banquet is like a 6-day bicycle race, only with stomach.
Well, what happened?
Well, before the dinner starts, we drink a toast to the chef.
Fine.
Then we are drinking a toast to each individual guest.
I see.
Next, a toast to all of the friends of the guests who are not there at the banquet.
That's a nice gesture.
Then we drink a toast to the friends of the friends who are not there.
Say, this sounds like a testimonial dinner to W.C. Field. How many more toasts are there?
Well, we drink a toast to all of the toasts we have drunk. And then the banquet begins.
You start with the food, eh?
Yeah. First, you are getting the zakutka. In English, this is hors d'oeuvre.
Caviar?
Caviar is for the waiter.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the guests are having pickled mushrooms, pickled milk, pickled cabbage, pickled herring, pickled pancakes, pickled eggs, and pickled kumquat.
Pickled kumquats, huh? Well, after all those toasts, the guests must be pickled, too.
Tell me, what comes next? All kind of soup. What kind? Borscht. Borscht? You see, borscht is a deep soup with sour cream. I see. Well, what is that smetana with sour cream? That is sour cream with, on the top, more sour cream. Well, fine, sir. Tell me, do you have fish with a Russian dinner? Sir, they are serving you 2 big cucumbers. This must be. It's a tradition. You have to have 2 big cucumbers, eh? For why? Well, for this you are getting on the plate a live sturgeon. A live sturgeon? Yeah. You are beating the sturgeon to death with the 2 cucumbers. This is some dinner. Well, for the next course, the meat, you are standing up. You're standing up? Well, what is the meat course? Baked polar bear in the jacket. Polar bear in the jacket, eh? And you say you have to stand? Well, the bear is served reading up on his hind legs with kidney juice. Well, don't tell me that each diner gets an individual polar bear. Oh, no. It is 4 people to a bear. Oh, 4 people to a bear. Yeah, you start with the bare feet and you're reaching up as far as you can reach. A short guest is out of luck, then. Well, it's better to be tall. You're reaching farther up on the bear. Well, what comes with the bear, Gregory? Oh, all kinds of side dishes, wheel omelets, boiled potatoes with raspberry jam, raw eggplant, walrus on casserole, penguin gratin, pot roast stuffed with meatballs, and back with cake, with plenty of corn syrup. This ends the meal? Oh, no. After this, you're heading to dessert. Oh, dessert? Well, what is dessert? A lot of pumpernickel floating lazily in a heaping bowl of honey. Yum, yum. Well, on the top of the pumpernickel is a big gob of whipped cream. Oh, that's fine. Well, this you are washing down with a piping hot glass of tea. Say, a Russian dinner must be wonderful, Gregory. What are we having here at the Shashlik Shanty tonight? Ham and eggs. Ham and eggs? Ah, that Russian food ruins my stomach. I'm always taking Alka-Seltzer. Oh, really? How do people in Russia know about Alka-Seltzer? Lend-Lease. Oh, Lend-Lease. Well, you and I are going to be on Information Police tomorrow night. Greg, I wonder what questions they'll ask us. Who knows? I hope it is something about Russia and the Big Three. Well, Russia is certainly progressing. They're copying American mass production methods, automobiles, iceboxes. Russia is behind the times in only one thing, the radio. You mean they have no radio programs over there like ours? When I go to Russia, I would like to take some American programs with me. Say, that's a great idea. American radio should be a novelty in Russia. Say, how about the Smiling Irishman? Do you think the Smiling Irishman would suffer in the translation? Suffer in the translation? Well, in Russia, you might have to call him the Snickering Siberian, the Chuckling Caucasian, or the Jolly Georgian. But here's a commercial, Gregory. Let's see how the Smiling Irishman would sound in Moscow. Добрый вечер, дорогие друзья и товарищи, мамочка моя дорогая. Это ваш старый друг и приятель. Если вам нужны деньги, привозите вас в Шевроле. Всегда помните, что у вас всегда Южкар. И от меня вы всегда получите топ-прайсов. Не забывайте, что я переехал в новое место, куда вы можете приехать на вашем автомобиле. 271 Литвинов Бульвар, in the back. Не забывайте вашего старого друга, Дальнаций Литва, Коля Литва. Tell me, what other type program do you think they might like in Russia? News commentators. The Russians are crazy about the gossip. Well, for gossip, there's only one guy. Now, here's how he might sound in Russia. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Soviet Russia and all the autonomous republics. This is your Moscow correspondent, Valdovich Winchelkovich. Let's go to press. Moscow, Russia. What assistant district manager of what tractor combine is making a fool of himself over that little blonde steel puddler from Kharkov? They were seen necking near the Dnieper hydroelectric dam Friday night. More power to them. It's a blasted event for the Sergei Menshevik. He is the former Miss Collective Farms for 1937. He is the crossword puzzle editor and financial advisor of Pravda. And Orchid Plant Superintendent S. Tarnowski. He is responsible for this month's sensational 30% rise in the production of balalaika picks. This is the same Tarnowski who only last year won the Shostakovich Award for his outstanding work on trombone valves. And now to answer the mail as the time allows. Nikolai Petrovich, 327 Potemkin Plaza, Smolensk. So are you, comrade. Well, that's all for tonight, Tavarsky. This is Mrs. Winchelkovich's boy Moldovich saying, be proud you are a Russian. Because when you are a Russian, you are a Russian. Well, that should keep Moscow up to date, Gregory.
You know, I wonder if that was the same little steel puzzle from Kharkov who went to the Dnieper Dam with me in 1912. Oh, no, it couldn't be. Should be 85 years old now.
Oh, man. Well, Gregory, can you think of any other American programs the Russian folks would go for?
Yes, Fred. Cereal.
Cereal? Do you really think they like cereal programs over there?
With all that suffering and tragedy, they will go crazy for the cereal, Fred.
Really?
A true Russian is never so happy as when he is unhappy.
Well, all right, Gregory. Now, here is how a Russian cereal might sound. And now we present Just Plain Misha.
When we left Just Plain Misha yesterday, he was in a sorry plight. He had 24 hours to decide whether he should marry Masha Krasotkin, the poor little gypsy girl who saved his life when his threshing machine bundled him into a bale of hay. Or marry wealthy Sonia Grumpton, daughter of Commissar Grumpton. Life with Masha will be poverty, black bread and skimmed milk. Life with Sonia will be luxury, seltzer water, anchovies, and rich food. It is hard to choose. Today we find Just Plain Misha at the door of Masha Krasotkin's hut. Misha knocks. Masha opens the door.
Misha!
Masha!
Come in, Misha.
Спасибо, Masha.
The family is all here waiting, Misha.
Waiting for what, Masha?
The inevitable. In Russia, what else is there to wait for?
Yeah, only the inevitable.
Ничего, Misha.
Ничего, Masha. Oh. Who is mourning, Masha?
Grandpa Boris, the old one. His leg is in the fire.
Why doesn't he move?
Why doesn't he move? Why should he move? He lives here. True, Misha.
True, Masha. Grandpa Boris is mourning again.
His other leg is in the fire.
He is cremating himself.
At least he is warm. Leave him.
You have plenty of trouble, Masha.
Trouble, Misha. There is no food. The mice are eating each other.
A man just looked out of the oven.
It is Uncle Igor. We are having him for dinner. Everything is trouble, Misha.
I have more trouble for you, Masha.
More trouble, Misha?
Yes, Masha. Our wedding is off. I am going to marry Sonia.
Well, life is a pill. You swallow it. Drink a glass tea, Misha.
I am drinking, Masha.
Now you are having trouble, Misha.
Trouble, Masha?
The tea is poison, Misha.
A black year on you, Masha.
You are angry, Misha.
Serving me poison tea I could overlook.
Da, Misha.
But this is Russia. When you serve tea without lemon, you should drop dead.
I will.
They did. Goodbye, Bublitsky, and I'll miss you, Masha.
Well, those cereals would be great in Russia, Gregory. People would be killing themselves off. You'd have a new family on the air every other day. Well, I guess that takes care of most of your problems, Greg, old boy.
Just one more thing, Fred.
Another program?
Jingles. I would like to introduce some of these singing jingles to Russia.
All right. When jingles hit the Moscow network, you'll hear something like this. Vodka Cola is a new drink that is good for the proletariat. For only a ruble you get a lot. Vodka Cola hits the spot. Ruble, 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 ruble.